It's your boy Yoshikidneo, and we are back in the world of Boridil, the kingdoms of Boridil. Today we begin a, I get it's a quest for them to find the Temple of the Lightbringer. That's within a place known as the Ancient Rise, a chain of mountains to the northwest of the Sladora Empire. And currently they're talking to a gnome, or not a gnome. I keep wanting to call him a gnome, but he's a halfling. Whoops. Named Anaxi Zephyrs, known also by his name of the Cartophile, a lover of maps. They've been talking to him after they finally found his cottage after spending a whole day and a half exploring the mountains to no avail. And today we kind of go over some stuff that maybe they'll find out, so that should be fun. Hope you enjoy. Okay. So the last we left our heroes. You guys had started to journey through the Ancient Rise, a series of mountains found in the northwest portion of Sladora. And when you first started this journey, some unfortunate trash talk led to a very shitty map being drawn and very shitty directions being given for you guys to find your way through. But you did get some info that there was a halfling somewhere within these mountains that could possibly help you. And then our good friend Vraz and his gang of goblins left you guys to be. With that, our good friend Inryu, who caused all this mayhem, floated up in the air to scout out ahead, got engulfed by a large cloud, seemingly harmless, but never reappeared. This is when Cyrene decided that she would transform into a giant eagle or an owl. I can't remember which one. Doesn't really matter. And Mirrodin being very eagle, giant eagle, and Mirrodin being so small, hopped on to hitch a ride to go find Inryu. So you guys went up there and didn't see anything.
At that point it was Owl. Sorry.
Yeah, she was a small owl the
Okay.
whole time. Yeah.
Okay.
I
thought
changed into
so.
both last session, so.
Yeah. Okay, so regardless, you flew.
Sorry.
And Mirrodin was on your back, hitching a ride, enjoying the breeze as it flows through his wavy hair. And you guys started to approach the cloud, and all of a sudden, a godlike voice speaks out to you saying that he needs his son. He'll send you a replacement soon. And you guys were like, okay, whatever that means. So you went back to the party and were like, well, Enryu's gone, guys. And everybody's like, what? How? And then after exploring for a couple hours, you guys saw another traveler that was hopelessly lost as well. And this was Shojin Law, a kid with sort of like little devil horns coming out of his head, but other than that, he looks perfectly human. He was able to essentially talk to you guys in your heads instead of out loud if he wanted to be private about his thoughts. He said that he was here looking for something. Yes, he was being very suspicious, but hey, that's perfectly fine. So he tagged up with you guys since all of you are lost and strength in numbers, and you guys were like, yeah, you know what? We can't let a kid get lost in these mountains and die a horrible death, because it
Yes,
could
we
happen. All of a sudden, from very far away after you left Shojin, you guys heard quite a few times and left him alone. Dallas, I need you to re-roll the new character. We just retconned your whole introduction, and you're dead. Also kidding. A couple hours later, you guys saw a campfire in the distance, and as you approached this campfire, most of you were able to figure out that this was an old friend, an old comrade that you guys had met when Lacan and Cyrene were essentially stolen away by Dagon's something. This was Cassius, and he was out in these mountains looking for Oswald, aka Lacan. Um, for whatever reason, he didn't really come forward with what exactly he had to say. But eventually, Alfric, when he started to pull out the body of Oswald, the bag of holding fell from his grasp. The opening to the bag of holding like burst in these sort of shadowy flames, and a dark entity had burst out, and essentially this weird form, this weird shadow figure popped out and started talking to you guys in the exact voice of Oswald. He then threatened Cassius. Uh, Cassius and you guys sort of like stood your ground, but Oswald told him that this was his final warning, essentially. If you don't get in my way, then you can survive, something like that. And uh, Cassius ended up leaving. And then Lacan slash Oswald had told you guys that he has a mission to go to the Titanian Empire, and essentially he's got unfinished business with his family. And yeah, that was the introduction of his new old character. Then you guys were essentially hopelessly lost yet again, but thanks to Mirrodin and Lacan not really needing to sleep and deciding to go an adventure with the 4 hours that they had to spare, they ended up seeing a cabin pretty far in the distance with some sort of light emanating out of it so that you guys could see it, and decided, you know what, we're lost already, might as well head over there. So the next morning you did, and you got there roughly about mid-afternoon, early evening time, and you met a gnome named Anaxi Zephyrs, also known as the Cartophile. And he took a very long time to get down from his perch that he was looking through a telescope to survey the land, which then brought us to the evening time. Mirrodin had made him some bomb-ass tea that he really enjoyed. Alfric almost ruined it by heating it up, but luckily the old man was fast enough to tell him not to. And you guys had a wonderful little conversation, and eventually you guys went to sleep and took your long rest. That's where we're going to start, is sort of retconning just a little bit, since Jeff had some questions, and so did... I'm not sure if your question is a joke or not, Martin, but we'll just go down
All
the
of my
list.
questions were jokes.
Okay, cool. Real quick, though, Gerald, if you could roll me a D100 secretly, please.
Yeah, I just sent you a message asking if you got it, but there it is. I tried to do it from mobile.
Oh. Okay, there, it just came in. Let's see. Alfric rolled a thing. Cool. And then you rolled a thing. Let me just jot these in my notes real fast for reasons. And, yeah. Okay. And I guess before we also start the session, I'm going to take us to the world map. I think I have fixed my tokens to where if you click on the tokens in the top left, the map tokens in the top left, you'll see a macro called handout link. If you click on that and then type in whatever your name is for Roll20, you only need the first one. So for all of you, it's just your first name, except for Dallas, you'll have to type in Shojin, because that's what your Roll20 name is. And then it'll send you the map token link just like it did before, except for this time it's whispered. And when you click here to learn more, it'll bring you to the little handout so that you can get more information, kind of see a visual that's loosely correct for most of them. But yeah, just so you guys can sort of see where your adventures have taken you. I'm pretty sure there's a couple more I want to put, but other things were needed. Alfric, specifically when you asked for dangerous areas, I have put the little D&D symbol around a couple that Anaxi had told you about.
Yep.
So those D&D symbols next to the names of those locations on the map are pretty dangerous. So be careful.
Okay. I feel as if we may have passed one already along the way here in the ocean, perhaps.
You mean the crater of the moon?
Near it. Like it wasn't the sunken ship, that spot?
Oh,
The water?
yeah, that's over here.
Oh.
He
It was?
probably doesn't know about that.
I thought
Yeah,
it
you
was
guys
right
had
where we
gone
have it.
north. Nah,
I
the
thought
thing.
it went right there.
No, right. I mean, you did go that way, but that's when you fought Donvis in the middle.
Okay,
and there was
okay,
a
sunken
large
ship's that way.
whirlpool. Yeah,
Okay, my mistake.
you're good. It's been a long time since y'all skipped through 8 months. All right, so retconning back to when you guys are all sipping your tea and getting sort of settled in with Anaxium. I don't know if you want to roleplay asking the questions or if you want me to just answer them. You pick, Jeff.
Just for time, let's just answer them.
So I've made a majority of these maps by myself, but I've always had company with me. Some places of this world are a lot more dangerous than others, and in those times you definitely need strength in numbers and people that know how to fight and save your hide. I am not a fighter. I like to draw and explore things. So, as you can see, and he points to various places that you were looking on his maps, these were some of the more not very fun locations to be at, but they were still quite beautiful. My age? Well, I am 272. It's getting close to the end of a typical halfling's life, but I still have quite a bit of work to do before I finally kick the bucket, and I intend to finish it. I first started making maps back when I was around 23, but granted, I've always loved drawing ever since I was a child, but it wasn't until I became more of a professional and started to set out on my own adventures to map the world. The maps that you get from general stores and such just they lacked a sort of luster that I craved and wanted in my own, which is why I set out on a life journey to remap everything about this world that we know and things that people don't know. Let's see. Most of these locations I traveled on foot. Typically, being from the Yodian Empire, my good friend, being captain of the Wyvern Guard, was able to assist me in getting sort of an overwatch of locations, at least on the continent that the Yodian Empire is located on. Elsewhere, it was sometimes it was a little harder than others, especially before the end was signed by all of the other empires. Depending on where you went, you had to try to make sure that you blended in with whatever empire you were staying with, otherwise you would be taken in and questioned and possibly tortured, depending on who you are. Well, the only people I ever heard of torturing were the Titanians, but what do you expect from those folks anyway?
Decal. Nothing.
Very well. So, some of it, rough sketches of the layouts from the sky, otherwise everything on foot. Demon lords, I've heard hearsay about them. In my own honest opinion, they're much like the gods. They're kinda somewhere, but they don't really affect us. Except for I have heard the stories recently that they've appeared again, but it hasn't meddled with my work since I got to the Ancient Rise a few years ago. So I have been fine. These temples you speak of, I've unfortunately not heard of anything. I've never heard of a Lightbringer, but I assume that they have some sort of really heavy torch. And I'm here in the mountains because this is the last place that I need to record in full detail before I have my picture-perfect map.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. All right. But are you sure that you've discovered every place so far? Or is
What do
there
you mean?
Always, I mean, there's always more to discover, isn't there?
Oh, yes, yes. In light of your question, there are plenty of what we would call pocket dimensions spread out across the world. And it's going to be, I would need more than a halfling's lifetime to discover all of those that are linked here, as various things of magic can trigger a portal and take you elsewhere, even if it's seemingly innocent or unintended. That's just the way that the weave of magic works. It's very strange sometimes, but I'm not interested in those portals. I have found a few, but I'm interested in what we can guarantee for the material plane.
All right. Do you publish your work anywhere?
Not as of now, but the plan is once I have my map completed to hopefully bring my family some sort of recognition from the Yodian Empire for all my hard work.
Okay. Just be careful around these parts. The demon lords, they have returned, and the one of Baphomet is currently in the fields of Sledora, fighting with the Sledoran Empire. So be careful
Let
out
them
there.
fight. I'm not too worried about running into them, but I do appreciate your warning.
Okay. And you mentioned you needed some help with some areas as well.
Possibly. I mean, the Ancient Rise is a very, very large expanse of mountains, and I'm sure there's plenty of caves that I'm missing, but I want to make sure that I have every one of them recorded, which is why I've been here for so many years. Plus, it's quite dangerous. You can't just go willy-nilly flying in the sky. You might die.
Okay.
What's in the
Well,
sky?
All manners of creatures. Wyverns, possibly some sort of dragon lives here, I would assume. Rocks. If you have ever heard of those, you definitely don't want to be targeted as food.
Have you seen them?
I have, but luckily I'm small enough that they don't see me as a sizable meal and they leave me be.
Okay.
Yes,
Well-
Arak is a very, very gigantic bird. He sort of walks up to the window, probably about as large as the from that peak to that peak, which is more than like 50 feet long.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yes, very, very intelligent creatures, but they also show mercy to puny mortals such as myself.
Maybe
If you're
that's
not,
why.
yes, if you're not enough to satisfy their hunger, they will typically leave you alone, unless, of course, you stumble upon their nest, in which case, prepare for a fight.
That's probably why the demon lords have stayed out of this area.
Well, a demon lord I don't think would have any issue taking on a rock, personally, but I don't think the demon lords have any business in these mountains, but maybe if this temple you speak of does exist, maybe that's what they're looking. I honestly don't know.
Okay. So, I don't remember if we asked him already, but I think we may have. I want to ask him if he knows about the goblins in the area.
Yes, the goblins in the area. They're actually quite nice folk. They smell really wretched, but other than that, they've been actually pretty helpful. They bring me supplies every now and then when I give them gold and such. They really like shiny things. Their leader is Vraz, and he's a very, very intelligent goblin. It's actually kind of exciting to see that even stupid creatures like them can sometimes be born with a brain and with the ability to cast magic.
Yes, he pointed us in your direction. It's quite helpful. One of our party members, no longer with us, insulted him, but
My condolences.
he at least gave us I show him the map.
That's good old Vraz. I taught him that technique. You see how the peak, and he starts like showing you the mountain. He's getting better.
Well, that's good to see. Okay. Thank you for the information. I don't have any further questions, but thank you for the tea.
My favorite type of tea is anything with citrus. And your flowy-haired friend over there, and he points to Mirrodin, made the perfect one.
Very nice.
So,
Well, I have plenty of room in my cottage for you all to sleep for the night, if you wish. Otherwise, if you have your own provisions, do as you may. Sometime in the late morning, Mary should be back from her last expedition. She may need a couple hours to recoup before she sets off again, but I think it'd be good for you all to rest. You look quite haggard.
well, thank you for your hospitality. And who is Mary again?
Mary is one of my associates who's been helping me map out this region, and there is a particular location that I've been meaning to send her to, but have been afraid to send her on her own.
Okay. Well, what's particular about this location?
Well, it's a little bit deeper inside the ancient rise, and I remember seeing a lot of ugly-looking creatures that lurked around the area, so it's definitely dangerous to go alone, if not suicidal.
Okay. So Mary helps you map out areas as well.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
She might have seen something that looks like the temple. Maybe we could ask her, guys.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, yeah, we can wait here if you're so kind to offer. Thank you. And maybe we'll
Yes.
help Mary set out into the dangerous area, or maybe she'll even know what we're looking for. So,
Two birds, one stone.
do you
Um,
go on. You're good.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, do you need any help? Any preparations for tonight, or need help with anything around the house? I was just gonna
If you
offer.
don't mind helping me spruce the place up, that'd be lovely. There are a lot of cobwebs I have been unable to get, and Mary absolutely refuses to do housekeeping.
All right.
Chores. Yeah, that's more of his style. I will supervise him doing the chores.
Kai walks up to Alfred and pulls on his. Hey Al, I have a question for you.
I lean in. What's up?
Are we having a sleepover?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a sleepover. I mean, but I suppose so. He's being generous enough to let us stay the night. But yeah,
Okay.
let's try to clean up for him though. Show some thanks. And
Okay.
I get my mage hand and start prestidigitation the mess away.
Okay.
Out of character, is Kai like 12 or is he like 15?
He's 14.
Interesting.
Naxi,
Yes.
you wouldn't happen to have a brazier, would you?
Oh, a brazier?
Sure.
Well, quite certainly. It's a small one, a travel-sized one. I've used it to burn incense to help me sort of think whenever I'm doing my map making. Give me a second. And he starts to slowly get off his chair, and he heads over to his desk where all his maps are laid out, and he starts opening various drawers. Here it is. Oh, look at that. I have 2 of them. Would you like one?
I would. That would be very helpful.
Here you go. A token of gratitude from me to you.
I most appreciate it, Naxi.
He smiles gently at you as he hands you over the brazier. So you can put in your inventory travel size brazier. And as you guys are helping him clean up, he hops back into his chair. He sips on the rest of his tea, and he's got this really he's trying to hide it, but he definitely can't. He's got this really big smile on his face as he's just like sort of taking in the company that he currently has with him. And after probably like 20 minutes of you guys cleaning, you guys being tag teaming it and using magic and stuff are finished. His house is spick and span. It looks wonderful.
Well, I'm glad we could help. Thanks again for letting us stay. Oh, he's knocked out. Well,
Somebody took him in. He'd probably super like that.
is he just sitting in his chair?
Yeah, he's slumped over in his chair. He's got his glass of tea in his hand still, like resting on his belly. It's empty, but he's holding on to it, and his head is like drooped over to the left side as he's snoring.
I gently take the empty glass of tea and put it on the table or a nightstand or anything around it.
He kind of shifts his head to the right now and
Well, I'm going to go attend to some business that I have.
all right. Oh, are
Aaron
you?
goes outside.
Okay, I was gonna ask you a question though. Could I use that brazier of yours?
He has 2.
Okay. Well.
But yes, once I'm done with mine, you can use it if you don't want to use the other one.
Okay, I guess I'll just use it while he's asleep. While he's sleeping.
Just put it back where you found it.
Of course.
Probably.
Of course.
I don't know that he would mind.
Well, we'll be here all night, so I'm not sure where your business will take you, but just we'll be here.
where does
I
your
just go,
business take you, Mirda?
I just go like right outside.
Okay. Are you doing your find familiar spell then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll do it like pretty much right where I had previously teleported myself and Alfred onto the cliff.
Okay, like when you guys were going to see if the old man needed help.
Well, when we were first
That cliff,
traversing, and everyone had like done their own thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. So yeah, you spend the next hour summoning Toidio. I assume you want the same pseudo dragon form?
Yep.
Alright. He is summoned. In that hour, is anyone else doing anything? Alfric, you're summoning Frederick,
Yeah, be the one, the owl.
form of an owl.
Yeah.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything while they go and start chanting and stuff like that?
Are we in our
Nah.
long rest?
Yeah, you're currently doing a long rest.
I think all. So did he have rooms that we could stay in, or was it like
It's
we're
all
Like
taking
one
cottage?
houses
big
and stuff?
room. Yeah, it's one big room. So you
I'll
would
just
end up
plop down
like,
on a couch then.
okay. Lacan walks outside, finds a suitable spot, and just kind of leans against it and stands there for hours, just looking kind of blankly. Obviously, he's in his own thoughts right now.
Guy's gonna go up and kind of study the map and just look at where his travels has taken.
Okay. So you see bits and pieces of every single continent. Most of this part of Sladora, though, the Ancient Rise is like the only thing that looks like it's relatively unfinished so far. He even has the Giant's Forest somewhat mapped out, but from what you can see, it's a bunch of like large lakes that are, almost as big as the one in the middle of Titania itself, as well as different rivers and streams that run through the forest. Other than that, the Giant's Forest is literally just a bunch of fucking trees.
That's exactly what Kai says. Huh, this is just a bunch of fucking trees.
Watch your mouth, little guy.
Is he still asleep?
As you
Believe
look
so.
over at him, he looks like he's knocked out.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep looking at this map then. And keep my mouth shut.
Okay. Alright, so I think that's everybody except for anything from Shojin.
I think I'll just kind of wait. Is somebody taking him up to like his room or?
As you look around, there's not even a bed in this cottage. There's just this really comfy chair that he's currently sitting in, and the smaller, or the other chairs. There's two other chairs that are a little bit bigger than what his is.
Oh, can I move him to the bigger chair? Or actually, I guess I don't want to stir. Can I just put like a blanket over him or something?
Yeah, you guys watch Shojin as he picks up a blanket that's right next to the furnace. So when he picks it up, it's nice and warm, and he puts it around Anaxi, and Anaxi kind of shifts a little bit and starts snoring a little bit louder as he falls into a deeper sleep because of the warmth.
All right, I'm gonna hit the hay.
Okay. So an hour passes by. Toidio and Frederick have been summoned. Technically, Mirrodin, you have another 3 hours before you need a trance. Do you do anything in that time?
Not anything in particular. Pretty much as soon as Toidio is summoned, Mirrodin would embrace him lovingly and tell him how much you missed him and how dull it has been since Toidio hasn't been around, and he's so sorry about how Toidio got, etc., etc.
He nuzzles you lovingly.
And then I go back and immediately trance out.
Anything from Alfric?
I give Frederick a pet and tell him to stand on top of the cottage and look out for the rest of the night.
Okay. He hoots at you. You open the door and let him fly out. Lacan kind of glances over your way, looks at the owl as it hops in or sits on the top of the cottage, and sort of like gets comfortable, sort of shifts itself, and starts to just like head on a swivel, just looking all around.
I start to cast some alarms and whatnot around the cottage,
Okay.
and the how big is the cottage?
It is not a very big space. It's probably 30 foot by 30 foot.
Okay, so if I even casted the tiny hut,
Oh,
what would happen?
yeah. The tiny hut would be able to go inside the house if you wanted it to.
Mhm.
It would just cause a big ass bubble that no one can walk around.
I'll let it go. I'll just put the alarm.
Okay. So Lacan, you watch as Alfred goes through his ritual chanting of wrapping the silver line all around the place and setting alarm, and then he walks inside and goes to sleep.
And I honestly can't remember if I cast a good berry already today. Because I can't remember. I think I cast in the morning.
Yeah, you usually cast it at night, but regardless, I know you usually cast it at some point and give to everybody, so everyone is fully nourished.
Yay. Okay. Then I go 9-9.
Okay. So your sleep takes you, to those of you that actually sleep. Mirrodin's trance, he sees his visions of the past. Oswald doesn't require sleep, he just requires to rest at this point, so he's kind of just taking it all in while you guys are sleeping it off. About 2 hours before everybody else wakes up, and at this point, Mirrodin, you would be awake as well. And Axie kind of like comes to, and he looks around and he sees you, Mirrodin, hanging out inside, I would presume.
Yeah,
But he
Toyo
doesn't
would
say
be on the
anything.
shoulder.
He kind of like looks intrigued as to where this little pseudo dragon came from, but he doesn't say anything. He takes his blanket off and he shifts off. He looks around. He sees, Kai and Shojin sleeping. He sees Cyrene asleep, Alfric asleep. He goes over and prepares a cup of tea. He makes a black tea and he hands you a glass, seeing if you want it.
Yeah, take the tea.
Okay. He pours another glass and looks outside, opens the door, goes up to Lacan, and offers it to him.
I'll politely decline.
You hold out your hand and shake your head, and he kind of goes, well, more for me. And he starts to make his way towards the stairwell that takes him to the top of the cliff where his telescope is, and he begins to slowly make his way up. You can tell Lacan that based on how he was coming down yesterday, obviously after a night's rest, he's a little faster, but he's still pretty slow when he starts to ascend these stairs.
So instead of 2 hours, it'll be an hour.
Correct. So eventually everybody else comes to. You guys wake up. The sun is starting to rise, and your long rest is done. So go ahead and get back half your hit die, all your HP, all your spell slots, any racial or class abilities that you can use once per day. And as everybody starts waking up, everyone except for Mirrodin and Lacan notice that Anaxi is not there.
I want to get up and walk outside.
Okay.
and get my bag of holding.
All right, you start to uncover your bag of holding, and you hear a voice. That better not go in my cottage.
Don't worry, it won't.
Your bag of holding is there, and as you quickly just start bringing random stuff out, everything seems to still be in place.
Cool.
And it's still squeaky clean despite being covered in dirt. It's as if it's as clean as ever.
I still put it on. I go to where that voice was at.
You look up the mountain and see Anaxes at his perch that he was at the day before.
I tell everyone I'm going to go up and see him, and I start my trek up the little steps.
Okay. As he's doing that, what does anyone else do?
Who's all here now that he's left?
Alfric starts to climbing the steps, so it's pretty much everyone but Alfric. Lacan is outside, but he's within earshot if you speak normally.
I'm just gonna wake up and ask what's for breakfast, and then notice that he's not there. Anybody know where he went?
No, I was staring
He
off
went
into space.
upstairs.
Oh, upstairs? Okay. I'm gonna go find him to see if I can raid the kitchen.
It was the Naxi went upstairs, right? Out of character.
Yeah, he went up to his little perch that's probably 30, 40 feet above, like a 40-foot cliff above the cottage.
I'm gonna say wait up, and I'm gonna follow Kai.
Okay. What is Cyrene doing?
I was recharging the staff of healing, and then I'll go outside and see what everyone's doing.
Okay, you see Alfric, Kai, and Sojin all starting to make their way up the stairwell to the cliff that Anaxi is currently up.
Okay, I guess I'll go up there with them.
All right. Anything from Mirrodin and Lacan?
Yeah, Mirrodin, seeing that everyone else has decided for some fucking reason to go hang out with Anaxi, he'll go up there too, but he's gonna teleport up there because he doesn't feel like walking.
Okay, perfect. And what about Lacan? Does he stay downstairs or head up there too?
He wait.
Okay. I forget, what does the 3 do for you? Anything I need to be worried about with it?
Yeah, it does stuff.
Let's see. Oh, cool. I will roll that for you real quick.
Thank you.
As Mirrodin pops up, he kind of
Oh, I have another
winces
thing to
and
roll. That's right.
yeah, and he grabs his head a little bit. You can tell the way his eyes look, he's got a minor headache. I will do the thing there. I have updated your sheet appropriately.
Cool.
As you all get up there, you see Anaxi. He's sitting in a chair right behind his telescope, and
Do you see this bullshit, Brady?
yes, I do. So he's looking towards the east at this moment, enjoying the sunrise with his cup of tea, which is notably cold at this point. And as you all get up there, so you all rise early enough to see the sunrise as well. Isn't it beautiful?
It is. It's quite beautiful.
I'm hungry.
Well, you may have whatever it is you can find within my cottage. I don't have much of an appetite these days. I think that's something that comes with old age. So, uh, good luck to you on that adventure.
Thanks. I'll go back down to check the fridge or to check the kitchen.
Okay. Alfric, your name was, correct?
Yes.
He takes a sip of his tea and sort of smacks his lips a little bit. Yesterday, I wasn't 100% honest with you and your group.
All right.
And I wish to come clean.
Okay.
I've been in the ancient rise for well over 100 years. I have mapped out every square inch of this place. But something eludes me, and until I find it, I will not rest easy. That is why I am here. That is why my map is incomplete. And I guess a little story is probably required. I come
Okay.
from a long lineage of very regular halflings. No one really to brag about from my family in any reason whatsoever, except for a great ancestor, an inventor, who went by the name of Qualsh. I'll type that out for you. Qualsh was really the reason why we have a lot of the things that we enjoy these days, or despise. He was the inventor of gunpowder, which subsequently made firearms and cannons, but it also made things a lot easier for the dwarves to be able to tunnel through mountains a lot quicker than they used to be able with just their pickaxes and hammers. He created the Warforged and gave them sentience, able to do mundane tasks or complete very, very dangerous missions for armies and stuff of like. And they were also really good at doing research. He was in the process of making a regular ship fly through the air, being able to essentially make it to where all of the nasty critters in the sea would never harm us again as we travel from place to place. But for some reason, during that research, during that particular invention, he went missing. Now, as a young child, I didn't really understand most of this story, but as something that my family tried to forget for whatever reason. They tried to forget about Qualsh. They tried to forget about him being the inventor of everything. They had changed the family name many, many times to try to put that lineage behind us. But as a child, you find out these mysteries and you start to obsess about them and you just want to know why. So, when I came of age and finally had graduated college to figure out, or graduated top of my class in cartography, I decided that I would follow his stories, find these locations where he had invented these great things, and essentially map out his journey to bring it to light, because we have so much to thank Walsh for, but everyone, for some reason, has forgotten. And it wasn't until I got here to the Ancient Rise that I ran into a problem. Remember how I had told you that I do not like that thing that you wear? And he points to your bag of holding.
I remember.
It was this location, the Ancient Rise, where Qualsh had disappeared. No one knew why, no one knew exactly where, what had happened, nothing. But I think I found a little bit of something. Back in his time, millennia ago, a large rock of some sort had crashed into the Ancient Rise from the heavens. And of course, him liking to go from place to place to get inspiration for new inventions, he sought this crash site. He finally disappeared, and even after all these years, I was able to pick up the trail, and it led me to this weird location. I'm having Mary take you there today, but it's a very complex tunnel that if you don't take the right turns, you'll come out exactly where you began. Almost as if there's only one correct solution to the puzzle, and any wrong solution resets the entire puzzle. My group and I had made it through when we found this place, but before we were even able to get close to it, we were ambushed by these blue, slimy, humanoid creatures. They were like globs of ooze, but with humanoid form. Very corrosive, very dangerous, and there were hundreds of them. So we tried to fight them off, and it wasn't going very well, when one of my compatriots had the bright idea of throwing his portable hole in the middle of the tunnel, and that allowed us a little bit of time as they kept piling in, but their numbers were overwhelming. And they started to pile up to where they were getting out of the portable hole. And if you don't know what a portable hole is, think of a flimsy bit of cloth that when you put it down on the ground, it gives you about 30 feet to fill it, and then you can bag it all up. Very good for burglaries. Not that I've ever participated, I just know about them. Anyway, when they started to overrun us even more, and my other compatriot had the bright idea of combining the portable hole with his bag of holding. I'm sure you understand where this is going.
Not the best idea.
No, not the best idea at all. It's had its normal chain reaction, and unfortunately for me, I was just out of the way to where it only nicks the tip of my ear, and he brushes his hair back to where you see his right ear is essentially like the upper half of it is missing, but it's a very clean cut. Like cleaner than you could ever hope to do with an actual weapon of any sort. I've not heard or seen anything from my friends since that day, and after that, after I had fled the location, being chased down by those ooze creatures, I have been seeking that same location, but cannot seem to find it. I started to request mercenaries to help me find this location under a different sort of ruse, sending them out, and after a couple weeks, realizing that they were never coming back, as they more than likely met their demise or ran off with the award that I had given them up front, as, you know, I gave them half up front and half later. Maybe I was being gotten the best of, but for the last 100 years, I've been trying to figure out a way to find this place again. And I think that what I'm looking for and what you're looking for are only meant to be found by particular people. And after a lot of heavy thought this morning as I was watching the sun rise, I decided that maybe you all are those people that are meant to find this place that I'm searching for. Maybe you're the ones that are meant to map it out for me so that I can finally put this piece of my life behind me and return home for my final years. But I wanted to give you the whole story up front and make sure that you're somewhat prepared for what you're about to face.
Well, thank you for telling me. You know these mountains better than anyone else, and if you think this is where we are searching for, then I guess that's our best lead. And it doesn't look like we have any other better option. I I mean, not that we wouldn't want to help you, but our journey is quite important, and if you're correct, then we're more than welcome to help you. So,
And a final thing, Mary isn't helping me out of the goodness of her heart. She's also searching for something. She's searching for something that I've kept a secret from her because I can't really afford to lose her assistance. But he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out this weird silver device with a couple of like small red buttons and a small antenna on the top. There's a thing out there, a sort of construct, a mobile coffin that I had sent out a long time ago, a couple 100 years ago, to do some work for me while I was searching other areas of the world. And the last place that I had ever seen it was here in the ancient Rise. And I'm almost certain that where you're heading, you'll probably find it. Mary is looking for this coffin, and Mary will do whatever it takes to open this coffin. This is the only thing that can open this coffin, and I am giving it to you to make the right call.
what's in this coffin?
An old associate of mine.
Is it? How does Mary know this associate?
I'm not 100% sure. I've asked her that question many a times, and she said that this entity owes her something that no one else can replace. So she's been searching for the better part of her life for this fellow.
Okay. Is there any reason why she shouldn't meet this person? Or why he's in this coffin?
There are plenty of reasons. The coffin is actually an invention from my great ancestor, Qualsh. And I have no idea why he's in there. I don't know actually how he's still alive in there, but he is. So I don't think it's best to open it, but if Mary were to find this on her own, she would bring it back to me, and I believe that that would be the end of my life. And I feel that with you all there, there's no way that she could possibly open it unless you somehow open it for her, or she somehow overpowers you and takes that. But as long as she doesn't know that you have the remote, you should be fine.
And why are you giving this to me?
Like I said, if you happen upon it, she'll most likely abandon you to come back for the device to open it after she figures out it's needed. If you are not with her, I will be dead.
Well, how do you know that? How will she know it to come for you to find it?
You're quite silly. Of course she would come to me. She knows about my great ancestor, Qualsh. And she'll know that this coffin will have been built by him after the entity inside of it tells her so.
Okay. One more thing. Did you put this person in the container, the coffin?
No, he was in there when I had found the construct.
And why haven't you let him out? Can you speak with him? Or...
Yes, you can talk to him as if you and I are speaking. It's just a little muffled from inside of the coffin, but he wouldn't give me a straight answer. I can tell a lie when I hear one, much like yesterday. But there's something unnerving about him being in there in the first place. Obviously, he did something to deserve it, and Qualsh saw it as a rightful punishment for his misdeeds, but I wish to find my ancestor's last laboratory before I let him out, if I were to let him out.
Okay, so unless I want to see you dead, don't open this, is what you're saying. Don't give this to Mary. Keep it a secret.
Correct. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Okay. And in the event that she comes off, she gets away from us and comes to you, I'm sorry. But I'll try not to let her go, I guess.
I'm sure it will be quite fine. The
Okay.
gentleman inside of the coffin, his name is Stenmeyer.
Stenmeyer.
Or Stenmere.
Okay. Well, thank you for saying, and you're sure that we'll see him along the way? That's
I'm
because
almost positive, as this was his last location, and the only other reason that I wouldn't have found him before is if he went to this very location and got lost in it somehow, and is stuck there.
Okay. Well, I pull out my map and I ask, where do we need to go?
So as he starts to point, you guys can hear, or you hear this like whoosh of air, and when you turn around, all of a sudden there's this red-haired Eladrin standing behind you guys. Her robe is made out of what looks to be wilted flowers. Her hair has a bunch of like wilted plants that sort of keep it up in this sort of like hocus pocus style. She has all these chains that are attached to her belt that is seemingly floating by themselves. And she's also got a dark red furred cat on her shoulder that's looking at you all, and it closes its eyes and meow, meow. Anaxi, might I ask what it is that we have company for? Oh, Mary, you're here a little earlier than expected. I trust that you may have found some good news? She shakes her head. Who are these people, and why are they here? Are you hostage right now? And she kind of holds out her hands as if she's about to cast a spell.
No, we're just friends.
Yeah, relax.
We're just here to assist.
We are lost adventurers.
Loss seems to be a thing of these mountains. Might I ask your names? It only seems fair, as you already know mine. She casts a glance at Anaxi.
I put my hand out and say, I'm Alfric.
She grabs it and shakes your hand. Pleasure.
I think my name's Shoji, but you can call me Sho.
She kind of looks at your horns a little bit and then looks at you. Very strange, but likewise, pleasure.
Cyrene.
Ah, a merfolk. How does it feel to be one of the last surviving merfolk of the world? Sorry, that's probably harsh. I apologize.
Not a nice question.
This is just curiosity that guided my words. Sometimes that happens. I hope I don't come off as rude. If you don't wish to answer, you don't have to. And she kind of backs up.
From where Mirrodin is sitting cross-legged on the ground. My name is Mirrodin Elbala.
She looks at
A
you
pleasure
and
to
she
meet
kind of... She casts you like this sort of... She's got this glare about her and she's like... Why did you leave our home?
Adventure.
So Wanderlust got you too.
Quite.
Pleasure. And it seems there's one down there cooking. Smells fantastic. A young one, I would assume, and another that doesn't like to speak at all. Who are they?
They're just... I think the one cooking is one of our lost children that we picked up along the way.
And his name?
I think it was Sho.
But he said he's Sho.
Yeah, I'm upstairs.
It must be
Kai's
Kai
picking.
then.
Kai. And what about the gloomy looking one?
That's Lacan. He is abrasive.
Quite. Well, Anaxi, whenever you're ready, I don't have much news, but I've found another rock nest. Oh, that's quite good news, actually. Speaking of which, you probably want to go ahead and gather your things for another enticing excavation. I believe that these folks here will be everything we need to finally find what I'm looking for. And you can see she raises an eyebrow. Oh? So, you're finally leading me to the place that you've been keeping secret from me for years? He kind of like shakes his head. I've not been keeping it a secret. I've just been merely protecting you. With these folks, these comrades of yours, they seem quite powerful, and I believe that this is the moment that we've been waiting for quite a while, so whenever you're ready, let them know, and I will show you exactly where to start your journey. If you would all just give me but a moment, I just need to fill my belly with some real food, and then I'm ready to go. I suggest you do the same. And she starts to walk down the stairwell. Now remember, Alfric, not a word about that remote.
Not a word.
Otherwise, she's quite friendly. If she comes off rude, it's merely her just trying to seek answers. So I apologize for any of her speech.
I presume she knows magic.
Yes, she's not extremely powerful, but she is a force to be reckoned with, and honestly, I would probably fear her source of power, if anything, although she has never outright told me exactly where she gets her powers. I know that it can't be good if she's keeping it a secret.
I see. Thank you for the heads up. Are you sure
Well.
you'll be okay here by yourself?
I've been out here alone for almost 100 years, with Mary coming and going as she pleases, essentially, until I have told her exactly what she wanted to hear today. I will be quite fine, and in all honesty, I want to thank all of you for your company. It has reminded me of just how sweet civilization can be, and what I'm missing. I really hope the best on your travels so that I can finally go home and I may put all of this work to good use and finally find my rest.
Okay. Well, we'll just wait for Mary then, and we'll be on our way.
Okay. Real quick, I'm going to use the bathroom real fast.
Okay.
So if anyone else needs to use it, go ahead. But I'll be right back.
Cough, cough. Cough, cough.
Everyone get down, he has the coronavirus!
Oh, oh man. Clear his
Oh
throat.
man.
Clear his throat and sneeze it.
I don't know what I just walked back to, but that was weird. Not gonna lie. Whose throat are you clearing?
That's not a question that normal people normally answer or ask, Brady. I don't think.
No,
I
it's
think
really
both
not.
asking and answering is not normal.
That's why I remain silent.
And I came back to whose throat are you clearing out? So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm wondering.
See?
I'm wondering whose cock is sitting where right now.
Gay to me.
Sir, dirty.
I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Hey man, everybody's gay every once in a while. It's Hollywood.
Roasted. Speaking of gay, I was at work the other day, right? And when I was taking out the trash, I found a $100 bill inside of the trash. It was pretty
Hey.
tight.
Hey man, was it coronavirus though?
I mean, if it was, then it's in the house.
Ah.
Yay.
I highly doubt it.
So
though.
glad I moved back.
If anything, Kirsten brought it with her.
Excuse you.
Mm.
I'm
I am
fine.
excused.
Mm.
Hey, just because you're fine doesn't mean you're not a carrier.
Roasted. Got him.
Exactly.
Oh my
True.
god.
I'll give you that one.
Yep.
I did come out of the hotbed recently, so
Okay, I'm back.
Oh man.
Okay. All right. So, Mary only takes like 10 to 20 minutes to get ready. Kai has been downstairs making a vegetable stew with what ingredients he can find, and it's actually quite tasty. It's not the best. It's not like world class, but obviously with what he had available to him, Kai is a pretty good chef.
I
I yell out the window to tell him to come. Soup's on. That's what they say, right? Out of character.
Yeah, soup's up.
Yeah,
Soup's up. There it is.
I partake in some soup.
I will take some soup too. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you all be safe on your journey, and I can't wait to hear whatever stories you bring back with you. It'll do this old man's heart some good. Mary has strict instructions to essentially craft as detailed a map of the location that you guys are looking for as she can. So, if you are able to aid her in any way, if I get what I need, I will try to give you whatever it is that I can as a form of payment.
Well, very well. Much appreciated.
So you guys head down, and he stays up there sipping the rest of his tea, watching. Mary fills a bowl of your vegetable stew, Kai, and she starts to slurp it. For being so young, you make quite a good stew. Especially with what this old man keeps in here, I'm surprised you were able to make anything edible. Good job. I don't think it'll kill anyone.
Kai chokes on his soup as he's eating. Thanks?
You're not used to compliments from women, are you? You're still in that age. You'll grow out of it.
Kai starts to eat his soup faster.
Insults as well.
She puts her soup down and she waves her hand over it, essentially casting prestidigitation on it. Then, I'm all done. So whenever you all are bellies full, I'll be waiting outside to start our adventure. And she walks out with her cat trailing behind her.
Alright, so where are we headed, everybody?
Into the mountains.
Mirrodin,
And
please
who
turn
is
that
that
into
lady?
a song.
Can we what?
No. And that is Mary. She will be our guide, and we'll, I suppose, be her bodyguards.
Oh. Why?
Well, she can walk a lot faster than an oxy can, and we don't know where we're going.
Makes sense to me. Well, I'm ready whenever. Smacks his stomach and then goes puts its, I guess, bowl or whatever in wherever he keeps his dishes or dirty dishes.
Okay. Then the rest of you finish up and probably head outside as well, I assume. So once you get out there, Mary is up where Anaxi's at, and she's rolling up a scroll and puts it into her backpack. Well, we'll be back as soon as we can with hopefully the greatest find that we've ever made. I really do hope so, Mary. Then we can put all of this stuff behind us and finally head back home. Wherever your home is, I will be going back to the Yodian Empire. She kind of doesn't say anything and walks down the stairs. When she gets down there, our journey will take us a couple days, I believe, just to get to the location that we believe is our entrance. If you do not have enough provisions, hopefully we can find some along the way. Otherwise, let's get to it. And she starts to walk.
Okay. Following.
We follow.
Okay. So as you guys start going, you see that she's not walking quite at a fast pace, but she's a little bit faster than a normal pace. She has an excited spring in her step as you guys are making your way. It's kind of causing her to be a little clumsy. She's kicking rocks and stuff and making a decent amount of noise every now and then.
So, Mary, how long have you been working with Anaxi?
I think I've been working with him for a little bit over 100 years or so.
Oh, okay.
All of it's been here, though, in the Ancient Rise. He's looking for something, and I'm looking for something, and we just haven't been able to find it. Although, I believe today that all changes. I knew he was keeping secrets from me. It was only a matter of time. I just had to wait.
Okay. Yeah, we are traveling, trying to find a specific spot. Are you familiar with the Demon Lords?
Oh, quite.
Yes, there's supposedly a temple that's has information. Or
Temple of the Lightbringer.
we've been there already, and we need to go to a different one of its temples. It's supposed to be
more than one.
Yep.
Interesting.
There's supposed to be one here in the Ancient Rise somewhere, and thinking that this might be it, since he says he's a really good cartographer, and he hasn't seen anything else, so that matches the description. So this more than likely is a place.
Huh. Very interesting indeed.
So that's why we're here. If you don't mind me asking, what are you looking for?
An old link to my past.
Ah, okay.
I understand, mysterious. Ooh, and she kind of like does a very sarcastic like jazz hands.
Yeah.
Don't take it the wrong way, but I'm not much for sharing too much of my personal self with strangers who could possibly stab me in the back.
No, it's quite all right. I'm just curious. Making some small talk along the road. I'm not sure how far we have to go. How far do we have to go?
Well, like I said earlier, it'll at least take us 2 days to get to the entrance of the place. From there,
Oh boy. Okay.
could take a couple more days, maybe a couple hours, maybe a couple weeks. If it takes
Okay.
more than a couple weeks, we're probably dead.
That. Okay.
Hold
Have
on,
you?
what?
Dead?
Just take your word for it.
I'm almost certain that Anaxi told you at least something about what we're getting into.
Oh yes.
Yes, it is very dangerous.
No, I have
Yes.
no idea.
Oh, you were cooking
It is
food.
very dangerous.
Yeah, where we're going to is a little bit dangerous.
Well, when we first started exploring these places, he forbade me to follow or in any way, shape, or form go near this particular area. But it was a vast, miles expansive area, so there was no chance that I would ever find it on my own. But he would send different mercenary groups at the same time to different locations, and every time I followed one, it just so happened to be the wrong mercenary group. And they would just take half of his money and they would leave the ancient rise. So he somehow got me on that one, but not this time. Needless
Okay.
to say, out of all those mercenary groups, it was always just one of them that would never come back.
Hmm.
All the other ones I was able to account for over the years, except for probably 4 or 5 of these groups until he stopped advertising the reward since he was out of money.
Huh.
I want to confirm something. It was just one person out of each of the groups that didn't come back?
No. It was one group out of the majority that he sent at the same time. Essentially, what he would do is he would advertise to different locations that he was looking for a search party to do some exploration for a exorbitant amount of funds. If they were to join in the expedition, they would get 25% up front and 75% upon finding whatever it was he was looking for. If they were unsuccessful, after 2 weeks, they would get 50%. Every time he sent out these groups, he would send out 4 or 5 in a single day. And I would follow one group to just find that they took the 25% of his funds and left. But the other groups would return, except for one group. Literally every time would just go missing. Without a word, without a trace. And I'm almost certain the location we're about to go and explore is why they're gone. So we may see some dead bodies if that interests you. Have you ever seen a dead body before? At this point she's stopped and she's like she's wide-eyed and looking at all of you.
Yeah, we've all seen dead bodies. We were kind of still, well, the temple. Okay, so before this, we were peacekeepers, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with what they are.
It's a bunch of really underwhelming force that essentially replaced all sorts of armies. Really stupid idea, but yes, you were then.
Yeah, and so we've seen a little bit of death here and there. So before things happened around 8-9 months ago. But
Very interesting.
So, have you seen much of the demons around these parts? And
She
Axie said
kind of
he
shakes her
hasn't.
head. No, I don't believe the demon lords are either A, aware of a temple, like you said, being in this location, or B, there's no real gain. Not many people live within the ancient rise, so I don't see what, strategic resources could be brought out of here for a demon lord. Plus, the way I know demon lords, they just want to bring as much chaos and destruction to civilization as possible. And there is no civilization out here, I assure you.
Okay. Are you familiar with the goblins? Oz?
Yes, I've met Faraz before. Stinky, but too smart for his own good. I typically avoid him.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all I really had. If you have any questions for us, just let us know.
Perhaps if we all survive this, maybe.
Okay.
As you guys start making your way, everyone roll me a perception check, please.
Perception.
Okay. Let's see here. I need mine from Shojin still.
There we go. By accident,
Oh,
hit
there we
nature.
go. Yeah. No, you're good. We'll keep the 14 and add the 1 to make it a 15. Okay. So let's see. What does everyone see? So as you guys are marching along, most of the mountain range that you're going to is a lot like the ones that or a lot of the northern part, except for it's starting to get more narrow. The cliffs, the peaks and stuff are starting to get more like constrictive, to where you're almost able, like it feels like you're almost able to reach out and touch 2 different mountains at the same time. They're getting that close together, and you guys are kind of like walking down this winding path as you go around these steep drops and stuff like that. As you're going, Mirrodin, you end up kicking like a little rock in the ground, and it kind of catches your foot, and you look down and you see something buried in the dirt.
Well, time to investigate it.
Okay. So
Pull
as
it out.
you bend down and pull it out, you sort of wipe it off, and it's this little like cloak pin, and it looks fairly old, but it's still in pristine condition. As you're wiping it off, you accidentally tap it with your finger, and it plays like a little jingle. You kind of look around and you're like, what the hell? Who made that music? But then you realize that it came from this cloak pin.
Oh, that's interesting.
What I will allow you to do is, if you find me a small little jingle of some sort and send it to me by next session, I will make it, or I will put it on my soundboard to where anytime you want to tap it, it'll play.
All right.
Mary kind of turns around. Huh. I've been finding little trinkets that are kind of like that all over the place around here. Honestly, I should have known that this was the correct path to take in order to get to the place that we're looking for.
That makes sense.
And she continues to move forward. As you guys continue walking for a couple more miles, eventually she kind of stops and looks back at you guys. Mind if we rest here for a little bit? I could regain my energy if you don't mind.
Seems like a perfectly reasonable request.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let me do a thing. Okay. So as you guys are resting, essentially taking a short rest, she reaches into her backpack and she pulls out this ivory box. And when she does, she opens it up, and it's got like that little button that you kind of click, and it keeps everything held together. But she undoes that, and she pulls out a deck of cards and starts to shuffle them. And she looks like she casts some sort of spell to make the deck float, and she'll pull a card and sort of giggle to herself, put it back in, wave her hands, and it shuffles itself. She keeps doing this for a couple minutes. Would anyone like to play a game?
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely.
Oh,
I love
what kind of
Nope.
games.
All of you are very, very intrigued, huh? It's a very simple game, but I will give you a little bit of warning. Not all of it is fair.
What's the
Yeah.
price
In
if
what
we
way?
lose?
You don't really lose per se. In all honesty, it's probably a 50-50. The name of the game, I call it the Deck of Many. And essentially, you'll tell me how many cards you plan to draw, and you will draw those cards one at a time and watch what unfolds before you. Some people have gained riches beyond their belief playing this game. Others have paid the ultimate price.
I am good.
Me first.
No, you not at all.
I will
Uh,
still go for it.
yeah, Kai runs up to her.
Okay. So Kai runs up and she waves her hands and shuffles the deck a bunch of times. All right, Kai, was it?
Yep.
Do you guys see the deck in the bottom right by chance?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, that actually works perfectly then. Well, Kai, just touch the top card, would you? And she holds out the deck, or she makes it float closer to you. Don't draw a card, just touch it.
I before he does anything, I say wait.
Huh?
What? Have you played this game before, or do you just make others play this game?
Certainly, I play it. I play it every day.
And
I'm still around.
What have you lost? You were pretty vague. Like if I lose, quote unquote, lose, I do air quotes, what happens?
She kind of shifts the deck back closer to her a little bit. It doesn't seem like you all are ready to play. Perhaps maybe later.
Hold on.
I am still waiting.
I'm right here.
for
Yeah, I'm
my
right
turn.
here.
yeah, well, you can play. I was just curious.
She
Cool.
flies it back out. I have seen people lose their loved ones or their own lives playing this game.
Oh.
But that's not the worst of it.
You know what? My family's rich. I don't need any material possessions. I have friends that was literally the only thing I was. So yeah, you guys I'd suggest you not play. But I mean, I could be wrong. You know, it's different for everybody. But I got you guys back no matter what happens.
I will play.
So you said the first card right here, and I point to the card that she told me.
Yes, simply touch it.
Okay. And I touch the card.
As you do, you feel a surge of magical energy go through your hand, and it kind of shocks you. I don't believe Kai's ever probably handled a magic weapon before, or a magic item rather. And as you do that, she kind of chuckles a little bit. See? This is an enchanted deck of cards.
This is crazy. I feel weird. Am I supposed to feel like this?
Riveting.
Yep.
Yes.
God.
So then,
damn.
she shuffles again. There are roughly 78 cards. How many do you wish to pull? And I'll tell you now that pulling all of them would be your greatest mistake.
Pull the number of how old you are. Pull like 14. Can't go wrong.
Okay. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I'm a.
I'll take half your
How many
spoils.
do you
14.
pull? 14. Okay.
I feel like this isn't a good thing.
So she pulls out, or you pull out a card, and you see on it, it says the Hermit. And she kind of strokes her chin as I try to figure out which one this is.
Brady, while we're doing that, I telepathically communicate with everybody but her. What's her name again? Mary?
Mary.
Yeah, with Mary, I communicate with everybody telepathically with Mary and just jokingly say, dude, if she totally curses us, we should hold her down and beat her up.
Let's
No.
just
Mirrodin rolls his eyes.
Or mug her.
we need her to show us where we're going.
Yeah, but like after though.
Hold your horses. Let's just see what happens.
You're right, but the Hermit looks pretty scary. Okay, guys, back to reality. All right, I'm done speaking telepathy.
There it is. So, let's see. So, Kai, as you draw this card, and up to 1 year after, you may ask one question. It will be magically and truthfully answered alongside the information needed to apply the answer. Well, that's actually quite good. Fortune seems to be in your favor, but you have 13 more cards to draw.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Does he have like more?
Okay. So, do I hold on to this?
No, just know that you have one question. Then, obviously, you can ask other questions, but the entity that will give you this answer will know when you're speaking to it. Go ahead, draw another one.
Draws the next card.
Strength. So as you pull this card, you look at your muscles and they're all of a sudden like start bulging. Increase your strength ability score to 23. And keep it there permanently. You have 12 more. So far, so good.
Damn, I
Yeah.
I'm a sucker.
So yeah, let me draw the next card then.
The Nine of Pentacles. As she reads that one, you hear a loud thud behind you. Huh. You are quite lucky, little one.
Hold on,
You
what?
see, as you look behind you, you see this very, very exotically woven bag that looks like its fabric is actually made out of adamantine, but it's still flexible like a normal bag. And when you lean down to touch it, it gives you a surge of magical energy. It has the exact same design as Alfric's bag of holding.
I'm totally playing that.
So I look at the bag and look at Alfred. Do you know what this is? It looks like yours. And I throw it towards Alfred.
I look at it and
It is a bag of holding, but it's made out of adamantine, making it harder to puncture.
it's a metal bag of holding. I'm not quite familiar with the metal, but yeah, I put my arm in and I show him how it disappears. I guess this is yours. Here you go.
Okay. Thanks. So I put whatever I had on my person in this bag.
Okay. Next card, you have 11 more. And she's got this. As you look at her, she's got this really devilish grin on her face.
Okay.
Does he have to do 11, or can he stop at any time?
I guess you can find out. If you ever want to stop, let me know. The Four of Swords. Well, bye. And as she says that, Kai vanishes.
Huh?
What?
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 She takes all the other cards that were there and starts shuffling them. I told you, sometimes some people lose everything.
Do I see him?
Nope.
Shit. So he's not just invisible, he's just...
Is he teleported?
I was muted.
You
so he just
notice
disappeared?
all his stuff is lying there at Mary's feet. His bag of holding, all his clothes, his weapons, his backpack, all his belongings.
I get angry. I say, "What did you do?" I pick up all his stuff, and no, you can't have any of this.
She
is for
puts
Kai when
the
he's back.
she puts the deck back in. I think we've played enough today.
What if someone else wanted to play, though?
Where'd he go?
She shrugs. He's definitely not here anymore.
Here in the plane of the alive peoples.
Probably here in existence ever at all.
But you don't know for sure.
No, I'm sure there's a way to bring him back, possibly, but
Pull
right
the deck
now,
out. I'm drawing 3 cards.
Well, you
are
can't
you
just
absolutely
take
Oh my
sure?
your
God.
turn before me.
Wait.
Wait, you guys still want to play?
I mean, kinda. He got
Someone
a
just
23
completely
abilities.
disappeared off the face of the earth.
Let me go first.
Oh my God. You guys are idiots.
Yes,
Gerald,
I am.
like I have typed to you, I am making you a new character sheet so you can start filling it
God damn it, bro. God damn it.
That is kind of funny.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Bro, let me have that bag of holding.
Oh my God.
He can't stop you.
All right, great. Well,
God.
Brady, I pick up that
can't
bag of
stop
holding.
you.
I want that bag of holding.
Oh my God.
And I also do not want to play the card game. I lied.
out. Does Mirrodin still want to play?
Yes. He's been I've been waiting patiently.
She shuffles all the cards back together really well, and then she holds the deck out. If anyone else wishes to play,
3.
3.
Whew. Can I? Ooh, God damn.
As she pulls that card, well, bye, and you disappear.
I didn't play. That wasn't me.
Son of a bitch!
Are you serious, guys?
I
Cackles manically.
This is so stupid bullshit. This is the funniest shit that's happened to me all night.
I refuse.
So he just disappears again, right? Same
Yeah,
same
he
thing.
just. Yeah. So,
Okay.
real quick,
I-
I'll be right back. So as you pull the card, the last thing you remember is looking at the card and being like, 3 of Swords. What does? And then when you look at Mary, all of a sudden you're in a sort of like a what looks to be a bunch of like cherry trees with all their pink petals and stuff like that. And you look around, because you're in Eldrin, and because Alfric has done so much research on the world and told all of you guys, I will let you know that this is the Cherry Tree Grove of Titania. And that is where we'll leave Mirrodin for now.
Okay.
So you're not dead like Kai is, but you're not anywhere near where you guys were. You're on the complete opposite side.
Meanwhile, in the other campaign.
I know, right? So I'll bring us back, and we can talk about it later on how he may come back to the party or may go about his business. I don't know what you might want to do. We could finagle something with your patron too. Maybe you end up owing her more to get back to the party if you wish.
Okay.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Let's see.
I look to
Break.
Mary if she's still paying attention.
She's looking and she goes, well, that wasn't as lucky as your other friends. But it's a little luckier. At least he's not gone further.
Okay.
He's just
He'll be
simply
back?
not here. Maybe
Where
if
is
he
he?
finds transportation. She pulls out a map and looks around. I would say, judging by the trajectory of the sun and the moon, he's right here. And she
Who are we
points at the
talking
cherry trees. The cherry trees located near the capital of Titania.
Well, we know our next
Oh,
spot to go
but-
to after this. But
And judging by
whoever-
what I know about those folks, that's not really a proper place to be right now.
I look to Lacan and say, Lacan, look through his things and see if his card is still there. He drew the one for
Who, Mirrodin?
No,
Okay.
the one that Kai drew. Look for the card, the hermit card. I look at Lacan and tell him this, and I look back to
His cards are back here.
So he doesn't keep them.
No. And unfortunately, since he's unable to draw the other 11, after an hour, wherever he is, all 11 will be drawn at one singular time, and all effects will take place at one singular time. More than likely, he will be overwhelmed by the effects and officially be erased from existence.
All right.
Wait, so there's a possible chance that the one of the 11 can bring him back?
There is. And same with your other friends. In an hour, 2 will be drawn for him, because all the cards declared must be drawn. I did say that.
Well, we asked you, and you were like, "We'll see." You know what I'm saying?
I want to draw 2 cards.
Seriously?
Okay.
Like, really? That's what I'm saying. Like, control the adults in the group.
She starts to shuffle the deck again, and she holds it out for you.
I take 1 card.
That doesn't look good.
That does not look good.
What's the card?
That looks
Flames.
decidedly bad.
We'll see
That
how it
looks
goes.
very bad.
Wait,
Let me
can y'all see the
see.
card?
Yeah, it's right here in the middle of the map.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Ah, yeah, right?
Is that
Well,
Satan?
uh,
Oh my God.
kinda. So, Alfric, I'll tell you now that you have a arch nemesis now. Someone
Yeah.
far more powerful than you. I have no idea who it is, but
Of
they
course.
match the powers of the demon lords you've been fighting. Probably greater. Have fun with that.
And I will meet them in the future.
Or perhaps in just a few moments. I don't know. But they hate you.
Alright.
Okay,
Jesus.
well, let's draw that
So,
second
like-
card.
Did they automatically hate him? That's just what's
Bye.
up now.
Man, these swords cards, bro.
Oh, no.
Son of a
Hmm.
bitch.
Bitch.
Likewise, this one, there's a person on this material plane that absolutely hates your guts and will stop at nothing to kill you.
Fuck
I
those
will
sword
form
cards.
a table of possible people, and I will have you roll a d100 later, Jeff,
Okay,
so that I can figure out who that is.
I wanted to draw another.
Okay, guys, I know this sounds, guys,
Stop.
I know this sounds crazy.
another.
I know this sounds crazy, but I slick want to draw like 5. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but I kinda have the urge.
Let's
Give me-
see.
You know what? I'm not gonna do it. If I lose this character, I might have to mug my next door neighbors. That's it. That out of here. But you know,
What are you, a mugger?
oh god, I ain't trying to end up
Got
like,
him.
wow, one of my friends is gone.
So Alfric, roll a. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Out of character, real quick, Brady. Can you buy these cards anywhere in this?
In the world, I don't know. You'd have to find out. Roll a d6 for me, please.
Day 6 coming up.
Yeah, re-roll a
Just-
6.
Just to you or just to everybody?
Not just anybody.
Okay.
A 3. All right. So as you draw this card, the card is magically replaced with a magical staff.
Fuck, I hate pissing off wizards.
You
What is
have a
this?
new magic weapon,
Oh
a
god, thank
staff per se, but I don't know which one I want to give you, so I'll get back to you on it later.
Okay. Okay.
you. Give us one that can cross fucking dimensions or bring people back.
Actually, let me see if I had something ready already. Actually, I think what I'll do is not a quarterstaff. I'm gonna give you the wand of the war mage.
Okay. I forget which one that.
It gives
Is
you
there
a
an advantage?
+1 to any of your spell attacks, and you ignore half cover.
Okay.
Or no, when holding this wand, you gain a bonus to your spell attack rolls, determined by the wand's rarity, which is a +2. And in addition, you ignore half cover when making spell attacks with it. So I
See,
will
he
put
didn't do
that
too bad.
in
Okay,
your
guys, on a scale of
journal.
1 to 10, what do you think I should do to draw these cards? Like, should I draw?
I'm not telling you how you should do it. I'm gonna stop here.
Very well. And she takes your cards back and shuffles them in. That should be... I would be worried if I were you. You may
Yeah.
not have met a demise like one of your friends, and may not have been teleported to an extremely hostile territory, but now there's 2 people that want to kill you, and one of them is extremely powerful. I would say he's probably an archdevil.
Lovely.
Riveting.
Anybody else?
You know, oddly enough, maybe.
And this is how the whole campaign gets derailed.
Oh God.
She
Said
starts to
Mirrodin
put them
from
away.
Titania.
You know what? I'll hold off.
Okay. As you guys, as she puts the cards away, well, in all sincerity, I am sorry about your friends.
Why
But
do you
some of
carry
you got
these?
some cool things. Well,
Why?
you know what your friend Mirrodin was, right?
He was an
A
elf?
good friend.
A warlock?
No. Yes. He doesn't have his powers of his own training or a gift given to him at birth or anything like that. Something had him seek this power, and some entity granted it to him. It is the very same for me, and my patron gave me this, and has essentially made it to where most of the effects have no effect on me, which is why I've never lost. But my due diligence by her is to have others draw. So thank you for helping me out, and now I am fully prepared to help you out.
Lovely. Well,
Riveting.
let's continue then.
Can I get a deck of cards like that?
Probably not. This is the only one in existence. It was created by my patron.
Be kind of cool to have some.
How about this? And she takes the deck of cards and she shuffles them, and she moves them into such a way that they're mostly spread out, but roll a perception check, all of you that are there.
Okay.
Yo, I was straight about to roll a perception check.
I don't know. Mine's a help.
Shojin, you notice that there's one card that sticks out among the rest, and you can see that once you make eye contact with that card and you look up at her, she kind of gives you a wink. Are you sure you don't wish to draw a card?
Whew. Whew. Oh, my heart's racing so fast. Ooh. What do y'all think I should do? Should I draw the card that's coming up?
She
Well,
waves
we
her
wouldn't.
hands, and all of your friends are motionless right now. It's just you and me, darling.
Oh my!
Do you wish to draw this card or not?
Fuck it. Draw it.
Okay. When you draw this card, since I don't want to actually go through the deck and find it, you get to make one wish. And I would choose very, very carefully your words.
Oh. Do I have to make it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Any wish.
Anything
it will
that
be
you
granted.
wish. Possibly.
And it will be granted literally as I word it.
Essentially, how it works is you can use this wish to wish upon everything that you could ever want, all in one sentence. But if you slip up and the patron of mine is granting you this wish, they might twist your words. So be very careful. The simpler it is, the easier it is to get exactly what you want.
Okay. And I can literally get everything I want in one sentence.
Possibly.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Damn. All right. Out of character, Brady. Like, could you? What's Mirrodin's first and last name? Like, I figure I need to know.
Mirrodin Eldabar, right?
That is not. It's not correct.
Eldamar.
It's close.
Elbalar. El.
Elbalar.
Okay.
We
No,
get
no,
some
no.
like
Elbalar.
dumb
Elbow
retarded
bar.
looking version of Mirrodin come
Elbow
back.
bar.
That would be dope. He comes back like that dude in Scary Movie 2 with the fucked up arm. I'm Mirrodin.
No, you ain't.
Oh, that man, Littlefinger.
Yeah.
Take my strong hand. Ugh.
Your wish?
Okay. Well, how do you pronounce his last name?
I'll say for the sake of clarity that you pronounce it correctly as Shojin.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say this slow. I would like for you to let me finish my entire wish, and then I will say when I am finished. Okay. So, I wish that Kairuna and Mirrodin, I've said it correctly, were back in the, like, here with us, right here, standing next to us, with the effects of their cards with the effects of their cards neutralized, as if they never drew them. That goes for both of them. And when they get here, they will know the location of the temple. The temple of light that we're seeking, that we need to go to, that's closest to us. And they'll know everything that we need to know to get to the path safely and without dying or causing us mortal harm. Okay. That is my wish.
The card disappears from your hand. Gerald, reduce your strength back to wherever it was. Get rid of your bag of holding. Martin, you are no longer in Titania. Alfric, you still have 2 people that hate your guts and a Wand of the War Mage. Have
Got
fun
him.
with that later.
Lovely.
I am so sorry. I didn't want to push my luck. I feel like it'll monkey paw me.
You're good. You're good.
That's why I had to take away their cool stuff too, because I didn't want it to fuck us over later.
So with
So when are
that,
we drawing
the
those other
card
cards?
disappeared. The effects are diminished, and she kind of, as she shuffles the deck, Kai, you appear back with everybody. All your stuff is still lying on the floor, except for that bag of holding. Now you're that scrawny kid you were before, and right now you're completely naked. Mirrodin, you
Whoa.
pop back as if nothing had happened.
Mirrodin looks like he was hiding behind something.
Mirrodin pops out and he's got 2 hands like they're on like the side of a rock or a tree or something, and he's got this look in his eyes like, why the fuck am I here? And all of a sudden he's like, where am I now?
Do I know what happened?
Yeah.
What?
I minor illusion him so he can put his clothes on in privacy.
Okay. So Kai, you pop back and you remember a lot of things actually, as well as Mirrodin. You guys know exactly what route in this tunnel you're about to go to that you need to take. You know kind of what dangers you could possibly face. You know exactly where this coffin thing that Mary's looking for, according to Anaxi, is. And it's in that tunnel. You know that the place you're looking for, you have to go through a pretty dire test of intellect and then another test of pure strength in order to get past it, in order to figure out the proper ways of some mechanic that you're not familiar with, but you know how to use it for some reason, in order to get to the actual place you're looking for. And there, you know that there are some challenges that you'll have to make as well, but you feel pretty good about them. You know that this temple you're looking for is not on the material plane.
Am I still naked?
Yep, because you haven't told me you put your clothes on.
Okay. Do I know that I died, and that I died by this card?
So you didn't. So what you know is that you weren't dead per se. You were in a sort of limbo state to where it's easiest for people to assume that you might as well be dead, because the literal only way to bring you back is via a wish spell. So you were in sort of think of yourself as in like a comatose state of nothingness, where you could essentially just walk for years and never come across a single person or a single thing. It's just a black landscape with no effects, just this heavy fog that you were in while you were gone.
Okay. I pick up my swords and my stuff.
Okay. Well, welcome back.
Yes, that was quite an interesting journey I had.
And she starts to
Very
shuffle the cards.
pretty, surprisingly.
Yes, Titania, as much as the reputation ruins what you may see from their people, the capital is quite lovely. Unfortunately, not a lot of people get to see it. Anaxi and I... Well, Anaxi has maps detailed about it, but I have no idea how he got in there. Does anyone wish to draw any more cards now that we
No.
know the full scape of
I
the
did
game?
say that I would draw 3.
No.
Well,
oh, Jesus. No. He's
thanks
not
to
allowed
your
to draw.
friend, you no longer have to draw the rest of them, unless you wish to draw 2.
No.
That
I
Oh.
mean, I did say that I would draw 3. I don't typically try to lie about things that I'm going to do.
You
wouldn't
changed your
be
mind.
lying about it. You would just be.
We're not letting you draw
Your
3.
side of the bargain has been fulfilled.
She shuffles the deck, if you wish.
He does not wish.
I do.
Kai walks up to take one card.
I wish
Well,
to
Martin-
raise a spell on both of you. I hate you both.
Mirrodin gets there
no,
first.
I should have wished for like
as
some
he says
dope
too.
ass anime armor I wanted.
Oh,
my
God.
god, I hate you both. I hope you. Oh my god, never mind.
The 4 of Wands. This one says,
I
you
hope
gain
you have an arch
expertise in persuasion. You also gain rightful ownership of a small keep, but it is full of monsters that must be cleared out before you can use it.
Fuck
enemy.
yes.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Huh, well, I have no idea where this keep is of yours, but you own it. You just have to clear it out at some point.
I love going into dungeons.
Well,
Oh, that'd
have
be
fun
totally fun.
trying to find it, I guess. And draw your next card, please.
I draw it.
Ooh. So as you draw this card, you feel a shift of your very being. If you would take a look at your character sheet, please. I am going to change something. Did you see my change?
Gerald, don't fucking draw another card.
Oh, it's that. Okay, yeah. I see it.
So
Yep.
Mirrodin all of a sudden gets this really stern look on his face, and he's got these really like his whole facial expression has gone from this like kind of cheerful, happy-go-lucky kind of dude to where now he's like very serious to the point. Like he's just got this like stare that really is starting to creep you guys out as you look at him.
Mirrodin, are you okay?
You good, buddy?
Buddy.
I've never felt better.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Can we get on? Like, no more card drawing. No. No.
Draw
Are you
one
sure?
more.
I
Person
think
draws
we're
the
having.
card,
Stop drawing the cards.
the next
I
person who
think
draws
we're
the
having
card
a
might as
wonderful
well roll
time.
initiative. No.
Draw another.
Whoever draws another card, roll fucking initiative, and we can decide some card drawing that way.
Hey, can Saberwolf draw a card?
Saber
Maybe
can
if
roll
you meet
initiative too.
Mary.
Mary, I think it's time we move on. Let's put it that
Okay.
way.
I could have swore I wanted to draw another card.
I could have sworn you wanted to roll
No.
initiative.
I have drawn the amount of cards that I said I would. That is enough for me.
She shuffles the deck and puts it in front of Kai. If any of you
No.
interfere with this, Baba
do you
Yaga
mean?
will not be happy.
What the? I just got granted a wish. We are ready to go. You keep asking us. And we told you no.
I talked to Show in the language that we both understand to
Okay.
tell him to just let it happen.
No, because I just wasted a wish on you. So you're not allowed to draw a card until after we complete our mission.
Chill out and let me do this.
No, I say in the same language. No, I wasted a wish on you, so you can't. You owe me the respect of not drawing a card till we at least complete our mission. You can work out a deal with her. If it's for her patron, I'm sure she'll let you draw a card before we part ways.
Oh. Draws card.
Okay.
Oh my god, he's the worst.
Yeah,
I hope
the
it kills you. I literally hope it kills you, and I'm taking all your shit. I call dibs on this stuff when he dies.
So at this point, Kai, as you draw this card, you get the irresistible urge to donate all your gold and non-magical treasures you own to a charity or an orphanage. She kind of chuckles.
Oh.
Once we're back to civilization, that should be quite easy to do.
Okay.
Better hope he dies right here now.
I'm not saving him. Better not go through a life and death situation. He clearly doesn't care about his life.
She shuffles the deck and she puts it away into her pouch. Well, I think we've had enough fun for a mere moment, but at least now you know what is capable of this world. There's so many magical things, and she stands up and starts to walk towards your destination, which Mirrodin and Kai, you know, is the absolute correct direction to go. Perhaps later we can play some more.
I actually
If
might
any of
play
you
later.
are
I'm
up
not
to
gonna-
it.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I'm
Let's-
toting later.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Oh no, Kirsten, don't think of that of me. And then I grab her hand and stare at
No.
her.
Jeez.
And then
Everyone that drew a card is just dumb.
I saved everyone. And then he says he would have done anything to get you back.
As you do say that, only because I took pity on you.
Wow, you really are a Debbie Downer. But how do you know that
I'm
pity
just-
isn't a part of my charm? And then he slicks his hair back a little bit and then winks. But like jokingly, like I'm not coming on to her. I would never do that to Kirsten.
I'm still banging my head against the mountain.
Let's.
Cyrene's like, these guys suck. I'll be honest.
Mary, I was kinda mad at her.
I made that deck before we ended the last campaign, and I just felt this was the best opportunity to try it out.
Yeah.
No, dead ass. I'm gonna draw some cards like after we're done with our mission.
Okay.
Probably. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how Kirsten feels about it.
Are you sure about that?
Okay. So, because of the wish, Mirrodin and Kai know exactly what is on this path, what path to take to get to where you need to go safely, and we'll go ahead and just essentially fast forward the 2 days of travel and make it just 1.5 days of travel to get to the tunnel that you need to, because with their new information that they've been magically granted, they know how to get there. On the way there, though, Mary, occasionally she'll go to each of you and just kind of start to talk to you a little bit. And she'll start with Mirrodin. She doesn't make this, like, she doesn't try to make this secretive or anything. But she comes up to Mirrodin to the side and she's like, so, do you think that your patron will be happy with how you are now?
I do not believe so, no.
I'm sure you can work something out with her. Who is your patron, anyway? I know she's a Solar, but I couldn't quite figure out her name.
Interesting that you would have gotten that far. You must be quite knowledgeable.
Well, my patron makes sure that I'm well informed of others like ourselves. It's part of her game, I guess you could say.
Nor that.
I do not believe I am at liberty to tell you her name.
That's
Though
fine.
it seems like you could figure out yourself given enough time.
Yes, I'm sure I will. How's Donvis doing? And Cyrene, you hear her say that name for sure.
He seems fine, if a little bit possessive.
Well, he lost everything he wanted, and she looks at Cyrene, and Dagon gave him the power to get her back, so I'm surprised that it wasn't enough to take you all. But perhaps it was him being too cautious.
Tell me, if you would be so inclined. You seem to know me, but I have no recollection of you.
Yeah, weird how that works. Different patrons, I guess, give different liberties to their people. Mine, her goals align with me knowing other warlocks, so it only makes sense. Your patron is all about being good at fighting and stuff, so I don't think she really cares about the name of your victims.
That's
Well,
that is an answer that makes sense given the current context.
and it does seem that you are still learning a little bit about how to contact your patron as well, from what I can sense. And it does come with time.
Yes, that is true.
Yes, if you
Tell
just
me.
stay true to exactly why you asked for the powers in the first place, you should be able to find a connection with your patron come easier. But you've forgotten. And as she says forgotten, she kind of puts her hand, like the back of her hand, onto her forehead as if she's like fainting. And then she whisks away to Cyrene. So you and
Cyrene walks
Donvis
away.
had a little... As you do that, the cat runs up to you and sort of jumps onto your shoulder.
I guess I will pet the cat.
Now listen, darling. There's no getting away from me in this place.
Cyrene jumps a little bit.
Now, no need to be afraid, and the cat sort of, like, it does that rubbing thing sort of against your neck, and you can feel it purring.
I'd like
And
to
you feel...
pick her up and put her down on the ground.
Okay. And as
Then
you do
I'm
that,
just
the
gonna keep
cat starts
walking.
walking towards your side and is easily able to catch up to you, and it keeps talking to you. So, what do you wish to happen to this Donvis fellow? Do you still care for him? Does he very much cares for you?
I look down and I just don't answer.
If you were perhaps to draw a few cards, perhaps I could make sure that he is erased from existence at one point in time. Although,
Goddamn, I could have wished all the demon lords away.
although,
Out of character.
you two are the last remaining merfolk on the material plane, so I don't know if you plan to repopulate or if you're even able to rescue your people. If you try that, it'd be really hard. Think
Cyrene
about
looks
it.
even angrier now, and she's gonna pick up the pace a little bit.
I'll walk off in a huff.
Yep.
Don't shoot the messenger. And the cat runs back to Mary and jumps onto her shoulder and starts to purr very loudly to where all you can hear it. She then sets her sights on Alfric.
Hello there.
So, your people are hiding in a different dimension.
I don't remember telling you anything about that.
You didn't have to. I can see it on your face.
I smile a bit.
Are you aware of who I'm speaking about, Baba Yaga?
The name seems familiar.
She is a sister of a great and powerful witch that you've actually come into contact quite a few times. Does the name Inniscraft ring a bell?
Perhaps.
Well, sometime long ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago probably, Inniscraft and Baba Yaga didn't see quite the same way and have ever since been at war with each other. And I feel that at some point in time, Baba Yaga will probably institute your people to, destroy a certain place.
Noted. Why are you telling me this?
I can see that your allegiance doesn't completely lie with either side. And it's interesting to see people that are in the middle, see what they do.
Huh. And what do you hope to gain? Just to watch the pieces play on the board, or something more?
She kind of shrugs. I don't know. And she starts walking away from you. And she gets next to Kai. That was quite exhilarating, that deck of cards, Have you ever played a game like that before?
Can't say that I have, no.
Well, if you ever want to play again, I would not be so greedy next time. But perhaps maybe you could get back what you lost. Although your friend, and she points at Shojin, he did spend quite a great power that I gave him just to bring you back. I can tell that he does care deeply about you in some way, shape, or form. Probably looks at you as a younger brother of sorts. Where is your older brother?
Hold on, what? Say that again?
Your older brother, Quinn?
How do you know about him?
I told you. I know a lot of things because of my patron. Do you wish to know where he is right now?
I mean, yeah. Like, I haven't seen him in forever.
She points at Alfric. He knows.
He knows what?
And then she walks away. And she
Huh?
goes to Oswald. You are the strangest of them all. I didn't think that the Shadow Lord would ever choose somebody to walk this material plane again. Especially to kill their own family.
Quick question, Brady, out of character before you go on. She hasn't walked to me yet, has she?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Also, Reed, you are muted. Maybe he's... Oh, there he is.
He just continues to walk.
You know, there are forces greater than that of what is currently running Titania. And if you were to make a visit to the Twisted Wood and seek out those forces, your mission would be easier to complete. But I'll leave it at that. And she walks away. And she heads over to Shojin. And you. What an upbringing, I must say. I've never met someone with such a conflicted background, yet you know nothing about its truth. How much have they told you about where you came from?
They've told me enough. I'm sure they're hiding it to keep me safe.
Yes, well, I pray that you never find out, because how would you live with yourself?
What?
She smiles, very not like we'll say like menacingly in a way. Like she's just like planted a very, very nasty seed in your head. Time will reveal all sorts of answers there. And you're quite young still, and you have many years ahead of you. More than some of your friends here. She pulls out her deck of cards and starts shuffling them as you guys move forward. And she gets ahead of the pack. And as she shuffles the cards, she draws one, and all of a sudden something poofs out of existence into her hand. And it's like some sort of staff, and she sort of twirls it around, puts the card back in the deck, and it poofs out of existence. She puts the deck of cards back into her pocket and continues to move forward.
Whoa.
Well, the sun's starting to go down, and I know not all of you can see in the dark. Shall we make camp here?
Sounds like a good place as any.
And you're going to bring us shelter, right, Alfric?
You presume a lot, but you're not wrong.
I'll make sure that you're well guarded.
I start to.
You're very interesting, Mary.
I start
Very
to do the
interesting
ritual.
indeed.
You start to cast your tiny hut, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So while Afric's doing that, does anyone else do anything? Mary kind of goes away from the group a little bit, like probably about 20 feet or so, and just looks around the general area to make sure that you guys like weren't followed or anything like that.
Oh, what'd you say, Brady?
Mary just walks away from you guys for like just 20 feet away, and she's like scouting behind you to make sure nothing's like following you or anything like that.
I want to go to Alfred.
I'm chanting my chant for the next 10 minutes,
Oh,
but sure after that.
okay, yeah. Then never mind then.
Or I mean, you can interrupt me. I mean, it only takes minutes.
Yeah. He interrupts you.
Kai, hello.
You know where my brother is?
I barely know who you are. Why would you think I know where your brother is? Or who is your brother, for that matter?
The card dealer lady told me.
You got to be more descriptive. Maybe I've met him. I don't know.
His name is Quinn.
Do I know who that is, Brady? I don't think so.
You have heard the name.
Okay.
This was a gentleman who was founded by your master, we'll say, and taught along a different path than you were. Instead of
Okay.
you learning druidic magic, you were taught wizardry magic, and this Quinn character was taught druid magic. But this was more towards the end of your teaching, of your practices before you were set off into the world.
Okay. I mean, I've known a Quinn. I don't know if it's your brother or not.
Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, that's him, Quinn Runa. About
I
human.
suppose. Well, there's a lot of Quinns. They're humans. He studied magic with me, but that's all I really know. When's the last time you've seen him?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. We've been separated for so long.
Well, I mean,
That's why I was eager to ask.
if it is the same person, I didn't really know him that well. I just kind of knew of him. He was learning alongside me different magics, but I don't know. I have no idea where he's at now. Like, he could be anywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, it was worth a shot. Thanks anyway, though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And you notice that Kai walks away very disappointed and sad.
Okay. Sorry. Tiny hut and alarm.
All right. Tiny hut and alarm go up. Mary attempts to get inside the tiny hut. Is she allowed?
Let's please before she draws a card and we all fucking get the character.
I see your approach. Hey Mary. How's it going?
Yes. It's quite cold out here, and I know that inside there it is not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we're all a bit freaked out by those cards.
I'm not.
Let her in.
Just don't do anything to us, please. Yeah, let her in.
She comes in and says, "Why, thank you, Mirrodin. I'm starting to like you more and more. The cards did wonders."
It does us no good if you dislike us or have any ill will towards us.
Well, that is somewhat true. Although, two of your members now know exactly where you need to go and everything, so essentially you don't even need my help. But I'm glad that you see it that way.
More help's always welcome, so.
Yeah, Mary, I was a little intimidated at first, but you're kind of fun.
You know what else is fun?
I'm sure you're about to tell
She
me.
pulls out the deck of cards and starts shuffling. Anybody?
You know what?
I'm gonna abstain. Maybe. I'm gonna abstain from that. Thank you for the offer. I'm going right to sleep.
Is there.
Yeah, for sure. I totally want to pull, but against my better judgment, and hear me out, that's a lot for a teenager to say. I am not gonna pull. But I will probably pull. Don't worry, I'll probably pull before the end of our journey, Mary. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might not pull 14, but I'm gonna pull. So don't you worry.
She shuffles the cards and she draws a couple. Some weird shit happens. She puts the cards back and they disappear. And she puts the cards away eventually and kind of sits against the wall, and she begins to close her eyes when you start to talk to her, and she opens them back up. Yes.
So I know you're immune to like most of the effects, but like if you just really wanted something, like are there some things that even you have to like you'd have to pay the price on? Like, I'm talking world
She
changing
shakes
cards.
her head. She shakes her head and goes, "The cards affect everybody except for me." That was essentially how Baba Yaga brought them into play. Even though the good things come temporarily for me, I cannot use them in any way, shape, or form. That staff you saw me wield earlier was a staff of the Archmage. That would have been very useful to have, but unfortunately, I can't.
Oh, so like you can't just use like that wish card?
She shakes her head. No. No, I can't.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. It's quite fun to watch other people get to play the game. It is a very high stakes game, as you saw earlier, so take that with a grain of salt.
Mary,
Yes.
may I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
How did you come under your patron's patronage?
Well, like your friend there, and she points to Mirrodin, we are born in the Feywild. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
I was a student of the Archfey known as the Queen of the Night. And one of her advisors, I guess you could call them, is my current patron, Baba Yaga. I did my servitude under the Queen of the Night for many, many centuries. And eventually she saw potential in me to serve Baba Yaga. And because of their relationship, she handed me off to her. Did not really want to leave. I love my queen, but Baba Yaga has given me very, very great opportunities. I have been to many different worlds. I have been to a lot of the planes of existence between those worlds. I have seen countless wars raged against people of the same race, of different races, for various reasons. I've learned a lot over my centuries of life. I found love at one point. I have also felt that power seep through me and take control, and, well, sometimes it's good to live in the ecstasy of great power, but I've come to realize after taking to helping out an Axie that's sometimes it's also good to just help those that need it, using your power for different reasons.
Why do you still serve your patron?
It's not really something you just stop. Do you think it would be a good idea for me to just one day, I'm not serving you anymore, old powerful hag?
No, but I'm just wondering if life gets laborious after so many centuries.
Oh yes. Yes it does. But it allows me, I'm still seeing new things. I'm sure that someday I'll get sick of it enough to where perhaps I will tread that line, and we'll see if I am able to make it out. Highly doubt it, but immortality's not really all it's made to be.
You win some, you lose some.
I agree.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes. And now, if you don't mind, I believe that it is time for me to go into my trance, so I will see you all in a matter of hours. And she
You as
closes
well.
her eyes and goes into the same state that you've seen Mirrodin do time and time again. At this
Mirrodin
point,
will
she
trance as
is
well.
unconscious, so you guys may speak freely without her interference, if you wish. And Mirrodin just goes straight into trance too?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that was a eventful day so far.
I can't believe you guys pulled all those cards.
Wasn't our best decision ever. I truthfully regret it myself. I don't think I'll be pulling any more for the remainder of the journey. I was somewhat uncomfortable with how she spoke to all of us. I vaguely overheard her speaking to everyone else too. She seems to know a great deal about us without actually has spoken to us. That's very concerning to me, but not much we can really do about it.
I'm concerned as well.
Um,
I knew that there had been issues under the water, but I didn't realize that everyone had disappeared.
yes, I didn't. I didn't under. My understanding was it wasn't that bad. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, she kind of knows about my past. I don't think it's a very good thing, but I guess that's why. If my parents do know, they're keeping it from me. I don't think it's to hurt me, but she told me that, right? Knowing. So now I don't even know if I want to seek it out anymore. I'm kind of happy with what I'm doing now.
Well, that's for you to decide. We won't force it on you, but I look at Lacan and you. What do you think about this? You've been quite quiet this entire time. Or Oswald, what do you prefer now?
It doesn't matter. I only have one goal in mind.
Yeah, you seem bent on a singular purpose, which more than welcome to help you achieve if it helps us with the Lightbringer, which I believe it does. So, well, I look over to Kai. Maybe if we ever, I don't know. I'm not sure if I do know where your brother is at, but I did see him where I came from, but I'm not sure if we could really even get back there. So,
All right, I'll remember that thing.
but the Twisted Wood is a very dangerous place, even for me, at times. So, well, that was certainly an eventful day. I think we should get some rest.
Yeah. I kind of want to
Agreed.
kill stuff that's not on the side.
I go
Okay,
night-night.
so the night takes you. Luckily, because of the information that Mirrodin and Kai have, you guys were able to get to a location that is rarely ever traversed by predators, and the night goes on without a hitch. But Oswald, not needing to sleep at all, still keeps an eye out just in case, listening, looking for anything. But luckily, nothing happens. Eventually, Mary and Mirrodin come out of their trance. Well, since you two don't have to go to sleep ever, I'm quite interested to hear your stories if you don't mind. I do know a great deal about both of you, but I don't know everything, obviously. Do you care to share it all?
I am afraid that you will find my self-knowledge lacking.
Huh. You have amnesia. How far do you remember?
I remember my time spent at the City of Guilds, but I can't recall why I even went there in the first place, nor anything beyond that.
Interesting. Perhaps given time, it will come back to you? Or maybe answers will be revealed.
Perhaps.
And you there, Oswald? Do you ever speak?
He speaks when he feels it's necessary.
Well, quite curious, that one. But I feel that with your new goals, Mirrodin, perhaps you will become one of his greatest assets. And she kind of winks at you and stands up. I'm gonna go and just look around the area a bit. So I understand that you and Kai know exactly where we're at, but you can never be too careful. And she walks out of the tiny hut, trying not to set off the alarm spell. I'll be back in an hour or so.
Very well.
And she does come back after an hour. And then more time goes by. She doesn't really say anything at this point. She just shuffles her cards, draws a couple. Some magic items pop out. Some random people pop out. She puts them back, or puts the cards back in the deck, and they disappear. At this point, the light shows for sunrise, and you guys all start to wake up and do your thing. Well, sleepyheads, should we be on our way?
Yes. Sounds like a grand idea. I do the good berry thing and give everyone.
Oh, that's quite kind of you. Can I have one for my cat, too?
Sure, yeah.
She gives it to her cat. It's delicious.
This entire time I'm assuming I put the owl away in the pocket dimension.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah. I'll keep him there for now.
Okay. Alright. So it only takes you guys a half a day to make it to the tunnel system that Mary was leading you to. Along the way, let me have you guys roll a perception check.
Could you roll mine for me real quick, Brady? I'm trying to.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you. I'm about to charge my iPad real.
Okay. So as you guys are walking, Kai, let's see. As you guys are walking, Kai, you end up, being a kid, you pick up rocks and like throw them into the chasm and stuff like that every now and then. At one point though, you pick up a rock and it's actually got a little bit of weight, and you look at it and sort of dust it off, and it's this metallic cylindrical, or yeah, this metallic cylinder with like a little button on the top.
Can you describe it one more time for me?
A metallic cylinder, probably about as long as your index finger. On the sort of outside, the round portion of it, there's like a little button, and on another side, there's this sort of like there's this like glass fixture.
Okay. I'm gonna try to clean it off a bit to see if I can make out any.
Go ahead and roll me a Arcana check. And you wipe it off, and you can't tell what this thing does without pressing the button.
Wait, am I close to Kai?
Sure.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I can figure it out? To help him out?
No.
Aw.
Yeah, I guess I'll hit the little button on it.
Okay. As you hit the button, you're looking at the ground, and you see a blue light appear.
At this point, I'm like, what do you got there, Kai?
Where's the blue? Like, where on the cylinder is the blue light coming?
It's coming from that glass fixture. Now that you're looking a little closer, you can see that there's something inside that creates that blue light, and it shoots it through the glass fixture and makes like a little beam.
Okay. I click the button.
And the blue light appears wherever you're pointing the glass fixture.
Okay. I point it at Alfred. I was like, yeah, I don't know what this is. And I hit the
Point
button
it,
again.
and there's a blue light that's on Alfred's chest. And with every movement you make, the blue light follows it.
Please point that away. I'm not exactly sure what that does.
Do I know what it does?
Do you want me to take a look at that?
Sure. I hand it to Alfred.
Okay. So you hand it over to Alfric. You have this metal cylinder. It doesn't give off any sort of magical essence or anything like that. And when you test it out by pressing the button, a blue light appears on the other, wherever the glass fixture is pointed. And when you let go of the button, it goes away. As you're doing this, Mary's cat ends up seeing it and pounces it. And she keeps trying to get the light, but it doesn't work.
I start playing with the cat and ask Mary, do you know what this is?
She kind of looks at you and shakes her hand. No, but Clara really likes it.
I guess so. I ask Kai, where'd you find this, in the ground?
Yep, and I point towards the ground where I found it.
Is there anything else around that area we can see?
No.
I don't know what this is, but maybe it'll come in handy. I don't know.
Brady is
Yeah.
I asked Mary, is her cat like magical?
Kind of. Doesn't really work a lot like most magical pets, but I can dismiss it and summon it when I please.
Oh, can I try to Shoji tries to ask the cat telepathically, may I pet you?
The cat looks a little puzzled and kind of like scruffs its, or like scratches its ears and shakes its head as if it just heard something, but isn't really understanding why it heard something.
So it's kind of not sentient. Can I? Shoji tries to pet the cat.
Okay. The cat allows you to pet it and
Ooh.
purrs as you do it.
Okay.
I take the device back from
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you like this back? I mean, you found it, so here you go.
Thank you.
Well, let's I don't know, keep hold of that. We might need it later on. Let's keep going. Let's keep an eye out for more things.
Oh, is Kirsten not able to hear?
I guess not.
I guess not. No.
You guys hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you just left.
All right. Let me go ask her real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. It's gonna be one of those little puzzle things or something. Probably later on. Or go. He did
Can't believe
mention
we found a fucking laser pointer.
Right.
He did mention that would be puzzles, and you guys seem to know a path. But I don't know. I'm not sure if you guys know about the puzzles in general. But maybe we'll need to use it. We'll see.
Sorry, I'm gonna
I
start.
use my knowledge to get through the puzzles. I will say those exact words when the time comes.
No, you idiot. You gotta take this piece first.
You watch us fumbling through it, like, get out of here, pushes aside. Ah, this is how you do it.
I don't know. Mirrodin had some type of lobotomy.
I'll be right back.
Oh, he'll be right back. All right.
Wow.
Cough, cough, cough. Coronavirus. Cough.
Interesting.
Hey man, let me draw a card, man.
It is tempting, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, only because it's a game.
Yeah, I wanna draw a card. I'm your guys' inner conscience. I'm a
good.
wandering
Oh, is
spirit.
my inner conscience telling me to draw a card?
Draw a card. It's all that you need to do.
Yeah, but my inner conscience doesn't have a sexy accent, so I don't know if I want to listen to it.
No.
I agree.
Yes, you have to get that card and
Oh yeah, that's like good shit.
grab that card
Wait,
and make
is
sure that it's the right card for your journeys.
this Kevin?
Yeah.
Huh?
How long have you
No.
been here, Kevin?
Oh, I've been here since day one.
You know, sitting here.
You
Oh,
haven't realized, Jeff, he's been here the entire time.
No, I haven't.
It really has, dude.
He's been here since session 1 and you've finally noticed him.
I think you're all lying to me.
yeah, I've been
No, he's been here.
I've been the peanut gallery for the latest.
Okay, because
I swear you're fucking. I not remember you being here for. I've seen you a couple of times.
Yeah, I was always here.
So yeah.
Robotic.
Who's robotic?
Boop, bop, beep.
Person.
We got
Robot
Yeah.
Jones.
6'7" Kevin
Hello.
over here, just saying he's
Oh.
been here forever.
Yeah,
Up, up,
she's
up,
she's lagging a
Up,
bit.
That's all I
what's
hear right now.
happening.
Up.
Beep, bop, bop,
Kirsten?
beep, boop, bop.
Kirsten,
I mean,
if you can
he's
hear me,
always-
try going back to the other Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Actually,
Maybe
Bree,
keep him quiet the majority of time because he doesn't want to interrupt our sessions.
I just don't remember seeing his name. Like I don't look at the Discord like the names. But I just don't remember seeing him for
Which
every
is
single.
why you haven't noticed him.
Yeah, I've literally like I only come in like whenever you guys like go on your short breaks and then say a little something and then get quiet again.
Damn, dude.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, we're just cutting it up. Just cutting it up. I'm getting ready to make another character, and it's gonna be like Doctor Girlfriend from Venture Bros. She's gonna be a woman with a man's voice.
I smell Newports.
No, it's literally just gonna be like I'm like a pure woman, but like I'm just gonna sound like this every time I say something. What are you guys doing? I have no clue why you're asking me that question. Yeah, and I'm planning on it. That's if something happens to Saberwolf.
Yeah, you were playing in Brady's one-shot campaign. Not the one-shot, the other, the module one, right?
Yes.
Is that one still going, or you guys finished the module?
Nah, we're just doing the mainline side stuff in the same campaign as you all now.
Okay.
Just on the opposite side of the spectrum.
Okay. Brady, you back yet, or are you still helping?
Okay.
as-
Yeah, she's restarting her computer. Something happened, so continue.
I don't even
Whatever
know where
y'all's
we're at.
discussion were, go for it. Because I heard Kevin talking.
Oh no, it was just
I just did not know
talking
Kevin
about
was here
how-
this entire time.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Your passive perception is really shitty and real.
Like, I've seen Gamma Global like once or twice. But I hear. Like, I know that voice.
Yeah, I'm always
I know
I'm always
that
around.
voice.
I'm always watching.
So let's see. Gerald, you work tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Martin, are you still working right now?
I am working from home.
Oh, tight. And Reed, do you work tomorrow?
I do, but I'll be off the majority of the day though.
Okay. Well, I was
Fine.
gonna probably go get us to the next part and then go ahead and end the session, since we're playing on Sunday night instead of Saturday night. Plus, Ingrid should be home sometime soon, and she wants to play Animal Crossing. The game's tight,
Goals.
dude.
I mean, I can easily keep going though, if depending on time and everyone else.
Okay. Yeah, we'll probably go. We'll get you guys to the next part. To this interesting portion. Ah, she has returned. Is she RoboCop though?
That's the real question. Are you RoboCop?
Right now, she's just beatbox. Okay.
Is anyone RoboCop?
No, you're good now.
I was gonna take her place. All right, guys.
Cyrene suddenly has a super deep voice.
All right. My name is Cyrene. I'm gonna make all the choices for her now.
All right. So, as you guys make your half-day journey, and Kai finds the laser pointer, and you guys play with the cat for a little bit, eventually you make it to a cave of sorts. And as you get closer, Mary goes, "I've been in and out of this cave more times than I care to count, and I can't believe that there was some secret puzzle within it that is keeping me away from what Anaxi and I are trying to achieve. But, thanks to your friends, I don't foresee any sort of trouble. Are you all ready, though? Because what lies on the other side, even with that wish, is still going to be difficult."
Well, we have no other place to go, so yeah.
Do or die. Let's do this.
She gets her cat and she starts to hold it and she pets it as you guys start walking through. It is dark, so those of you without dark vision, how do you proceed?
Standing behind someone who has vision.
Hands, touching hands.
I got
Yeah.
hella dark
No
vision.
one?
Yeah, I'll hold hands.
I will hold Cyrene's hand specifically.
Lacan lights a torch, and Shojin, roll a d6 for me.
Still trying to get my iPad on. Could you do me the honor?
Yeah. So, as you're reaching for hands, you do feel the cold, clammy one, and you grab it, and it is Cyrene's hand once Lacan lights the torch, and everybody that was like doing, holding hands and stuff, they look at around and they're like, oh, Alfric like lets go very awkwardly. Shojin like clamps down on the hand as if he didn't know and blushes.
Good job, Shoji. Proud of you, son.
And she immediately
Yes.
drops his hand, hearing him talk to himself.
That was a monologue in my mind that you did not hear.
I'm his
Canon.
conscience.
Either way, she retracts her hand now that you can see and walks away, I'm assuming.
Shoji attempts to put out the torch.
How do you
JK.
go about doing that? Okay.
Let's do it.
No. So you guys start moving through, and Mary keeps pointing out the paths that she would take. And Mirrodin and Kai are both able to go, no, we have to go this way. And you guys go that way. No, we have to go this way. Okay, we go that way. Now we have to go this way. And you go that way. And eventually you get... Let's see, where did I have it? Is it on this one? Okay, cool. Eventually you get to this place. A very shitty drawn map. Because I couldn't find a perfect one. I'm gonna just throw your character tokens. I'm assuming Toidio's out and about doing things.
Always.
Okay. And Mary's out, and as you guys lead her into this sort of cavern, she looks around and goes, well, what the hell? Why are we in this cavern?
What do you mean?
Kai, you know that there's something about, or Kai and Mirrodin, you guys know there's something about this northern portion that's where the entrance is. And there's a heap of rocks in front of this doorway, I guess you could say.
I look over to Kai and say, "Bring out that light."
Wall.
Yes, sir. So I take out
the
the
light bringer.
device.
Wall.
Let's follow them and you shine the light where we need to go. Okay.
Okay. So I'm following them with the light and just shine.
Okay. You've got the little laser pointer going. The cat is eagerly trying to get out of Mary's hands, but she's able to sort of keep it at bay for a moment. Mirrodin, go ahead and roll me a general intelligence check with advantage. You figure, because the wish didn't give you like the exact answer, it gave you more of the broad details of how to do, like what the wish said to do. You know that these rocks probably need to be moved out of the way in order to make a path for you and your friends to get through.
Lacan, you have big beefy muscles. Would you mind trying to move some of these rocks?
as Lacan goes in to grab one, it shifts out of his hands and comes to life into this tiny-looking humanoid-like creature.
Who disturbed my slumber? What do you all want? This is my cave.
Oh,
Don't touch my rocks, please. They don't like that.
We are terribly sorry, but your sleeping place appears to be in our path, and we would like to get onto the other side.
Oh, my rocks have been asleep for centuries. I can't wake them up. I like when my rocks get to sleep. I like when I get to sleep. If you can kindly find a different route, that would be fine.
I do not believe
It
that
starts
there
to
is
sort of
a
sit down.
different route.
There's plenty of ways. You just have to find it.
You can see he's
Do I
got this
know
really
if-
sleepy look. Roll a general intelligence check with advantage.
Who? Everybody?
No, just Mirrodin and Kai. You can roll it too. You there, Gerald?
Yeah, it went out a little bit. Like I was trying to refresh it. Can you say
Okay.
that again?
Yeah, roll a intelligence check with advantage. So just
Thank
click
you.
on your, yeah. Okay. So with your intellects combined, you know that this creature is not normally harmful in any way unless it is harmed. You don't know exactly what this creature is, but this information's just coming to you. They typically are more willing to do stuff if they're given something important.
I'm going to go back to sleep. Please don't touch me or my rocks anymore.
How about this? Do you like gold?
I like lots of gold, especially when they're clumped into a rock. What else
How
do you
much?
have? Do you have any precious stones?
I do believe we have some precious stones. Would you like some precious stones?
He makes eye contact with Alfric.
I like his little stick.
How about this instead? And I the mundane shiny rock. But before he can see it, and I put a little and before I hold it out, I cover it with my hand, and then I minor illusion it so it's still in my hand, but it shines even brighter. Then I pull my other hand back so he can see it.
Okay. So you pull out the shiny rock and it actually kind of lights up and he puts his hands over his eyes.
Oh, I can't see. I don't want that. Oh.
What about this
I
one?
like the stick.
But this rock is very powerful.
My rocks are even more powerful.
I think you're wrong. I think you're very surprised.
He looks over at Mirrodin.
I like that stick, unless you have something else like it.
Alfred, what's so special about your wand?
This is the one we got from the cards. I'm not just gonna give it to this.
Mary takes out her deck. You can always
fine.
draw for another.
No one asked you.
All right.
How about this? I pull out the this art. So I say okay. So I give me a second. I walk away so he can't see me, and I rummage through my bag and I get this artwork out from way back when we went to the desert place.
Yeah.
And I show him this artwork. Would you be interested in this? It's worth
This is that ancient gold picture thing, right?
Yeah,
From
worth
Minette
900 gold.
Ka's tomb.
Yes, this is worth quite a pretty penny.
Let me hear.
And he holds out his hands in a sort of like, think of a baby, how when they do that grabbing motion with their hands.
I should be very careful with it.
He grabs it from you and like looks at it and sniffs it a little bit.
Oh, ancient gold rock. Wow, that has a lot of stories. Okay.
He stands up a little bit and he sort of waves his hands, and all the rocks like you see these little black beads open up like eyeballs, and they all start to move out of the way.
Go ahead. But when you come back this way, have something better.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yes, you have
He
been
scratches
most
his head
gracious.
and he wraps up one of his rocks in it, kind of like a blanket.
Let him tell you a story.
He starts to giggle to himself.
Well, I moved off the map.
Yes, you did. I can't even get you.
I know, I faded. Put myself on exist.
I did it! Ha-ha! You just have to get like right at the edge.
Yeah, no,
of your
I
back.
saw that little arrows pop up.
Okay, so as you guys move through, you feel different. Everybody roll me a let's do a history check.
Oh wait, we were told it's on a different plane. Couldn't connect.
Okay, cool. Since you have made that connection already, yes. You feel as if you've just traversed into a different plane of existence. So no need for the history check, as Lacan figured it out. Good work. I think you still have inspiration. So I can't
Inspiration
give
for
you-
listening, yay! All right.
So yes, you guys feel yourself traversing over, and as you do traverse over, Mary gets this grin on her face. I think that we have made it. Let's not waste another moment, shall we?
Okay, well, what do we see in front of us?
Kirsten, we can hear the fan now.
Better?
Yeah.
Yes, way
No,
better.
that was the wind from the tunnels.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
oh,
that was
Okay,
tunnel
that makes
wind.
sense. So it looks like a normal tunnel still. As you're moving forward for about an hour or so, this tunnel doesn't break off in any other directions. There's really nothing about like this is a straight singular tunnel. But eventually, after an hour of walking through it, you see a light at the end of the tunnel. And Mary starts to run forward, doing a full dash action to get up there.
Wait, Mary, where are you going? Wait.
This is what I've been searching for. I'm not going to waste another moment.
Mirrodin follows.
I follow as well.
Okay. Let's see. So as you guys come outside, you end up getting to
Likely
this sort
dead.
of... Oh, yeah. Those are the heights of just in
Okay.
case you fall for whatever reason. No reason, but...
No reason.
As you guys come outside here, you're kind of like, it takes a second for your eyes to adjust a little bit when you're looking outside. But eventually, Mary walks up to the edge of the cliff here, and she points. She goes, "That's it. That's what I've been searching for. Hundreds of years, and we finally found it. It's this
What
sort
is-
of coffin that's attached to these like mechanical-looking legs. They look to be kind of similar to Warforged parts.
Oh, what is that, Mary?
That houses somebody that I've been looking for. Someone that took something from me long ago. And I know Anaxi tried to keep it a secret, but unfortunately he doesn't understand how my magic works just yet. So if you would kindly hand over the remote to it.
What do you mean, hand over the remote?
Do not be coy with me. She turns around. The little silver remote with the red buttons and the little antenna, and she describes what Anaxi gave you with perfection.
Do you
What
mind
we
if
get
we?
out of it?
Do you mind if we speak with
Do you mind what? You cut out.
Oh, do you mind if we go up and speak with the individual first?
Sure, if I have the remote in hand.
I was told that well, and Axie feels like you're gonna kill him if you get your hands on this remote.
No. I have no grief towards Anaxi, although it is a little upsetting that he did keep this away from me for so very long. But I understand his reasons.
And if you knew this all along, why didn't you just take it already?
Well, because I had no idea how to get here. And luckily, I had just the card trick to get me here. And she winks at Shojin.
Well, he was quite insistent that this thing was not supposed to be released for any reason.
Who says I'm releasing it?
Who says? Well, I'm asking you. Are you?
No. The remote has complete and utter control of that contraption. I plan to march it right to the Sleepy Peak and ensure that it has an everlasting tomb underneath the lava. Even the entity inside of it
After-
wouldn't be able to survive.
Of course, that's after you get what you want, correct?
Correct. That controller controls that apparatus. It will go wherever I want it to go. It will open if I wanted it to. It doesn't really matter. But what I need it for is I need him to show me something. I need him to lead me back to what it is I lost.
And I need to know what that is first before I give this to you. I don't know if
shakes
we
her
can
head.
trust you.
And I don't know if I can trust you from here on.
Well, I look to everybody else and ask, what do you guys think? Cyrene, Mirrodin, Lacan?
I believe that Marie here has been fairly forthright with us in the short time that we have known her. However, I am curious about who this person is, to have someone looking for them for so long.
And so they're
Mr. Roboto, Mrs. Roboto.
She looks towards the device and begins to cast a spell.
I didn't say
Hold
no.
on,
Calm
Marie.
down. I just.
Don't
She
waste
finishes
your
her spell
energy.
and dimensions doors over towards it.
Well, let's hurry up then.
As she finishes dimensioning door, she goes to touch it, and the moment that she does, there's this sort of like rumbling underneath her feet, and a creature launches out to attack her. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Is there a drop off right here?
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, I'm assuming there is.
Yeah, it's 20 feet.
At the 20 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of plot twist to this.
Guess we'll find out next time, guys.
Hmm.
I'll put y'all on the world map.
Will they make it out of this alive? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I won't make it out alive.
Why not?
He already
He's
did.
already
Why?
dead.
He's
Alive,
already
Reed.
dead.
Tell us, please.
Well, that was a very fun, interesting way. to
You
start
know,
the
we could have
session.
had Reed alive or Lacan alive, like for real
Yeah.
alive.
There's a lot of things. That's why I put him on the spot. It's harder to think clearly when you're put on the spot, which worked
I
out
mean,
perfectly. Good job,
come on.
guys.
You think Shojin, who just met the guy, is gonna be like, you know what? I wish this guy back alive. Like, I wasn't gonna say anything. It's his wish.
True.
Plus, we were also frozen in time, and anyways,
Yeah.
There's so much he could have did with that wish.
I mean,
And there's always the possibility of drawing that card.
you can technically so you can literally wish for anything, right? Technically.
Yeah,
With
there are
confines of the rules.
stipulations. Yeah, there's
Well, yeah, because like,
stipulations to
what if
it.
what if you wished for you're invincible, nothing can hurt you? Then what? Like, you could, no one can kill you. You take 0 damage from any source.
True. I'm gonna end
What are
my
the
stream,
limitations,
and I'll be right back.
though? Is it like
Alright, so that was a really fun session. The Deck of Many Things went off, well, this is a homebrew item called the Deck of Everything. Instead of the normal mundane 24 cards, it adds 78, or it adds up to a total of 78 cards total, which is 54 more cards, mind you. Granted, that also includes all the original effects of the Deck of Many Things, which it was hilarious when Alfric drew that one, and now not only do they have demon lords after them, but now I get to play an archdevil against them too, so that should be really interesting. But yeah, I think it was a really fun session. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did too, and we'll be back tomorrow with the other campaign. So until then, peace.